Mm. And we are now live and in person. Hooray! Give me a sec, guys. I will be in the chat in just a moment. Oh, look at that. Immediate. That's much better. Oh, gotta hit mute, of course. But, you know. Han. Hello, Turtle Time. How are you? Good to see you. Happy that you are here. Hope everybody is having a good day. You know, I should probably check to make sure that, thing was sent through Twitter. Yes, it is. I have an idea. I'm going to share this, but I'm going to make it a lot better. Doo. Oops, that is not how you spell Butterfingers. Okay. Okay, there. I made a double post. I'm gonna make sure people show up, or at least hopefully. Manga, classic Sonic, anime, Sonic Mania, Netflix, Sonic 06. Well, thank you, Turtle Time. That was actually quite entertaining. Glad you are here to enjoy the fun. I don't know. Today seems to probably be a slow day. At least at the moment. I'll give it another couple minutes. Don't know where everybody's at. I was expecting at least a couple people to show up, but right now, not a lot. But that's okay. That is all right. We may just have to do this without anybody, which could happen. Did you hear that the new anime Netflix got? It's called Minecraft Story Mode. Well, that's an interesting anime that they've managed to wrangle, isn't it? Well, thank you, Turtle Time. That was fun. That was good. Does nobody care? It's probably already been talked to death, probably. Oh. Yeah. Okay, I agree with that. Some comics get related stuff, I guess. Okay. Well, that's a good point. Merkel. Merkel? What is a Merkel? Oh, okay. Wow, where is everybody? I'm not getting nobody. That's a little odd. Normally I have at least 2 or 3 people here by now. Of course, I also don't have anybody to talk to. I have an anime suggestion. You do, Turtle Time. Well, please. Tell me, what is your anime suggestion, sir? It's called Villager Mon GT. I don't even think I want to know what that is or even bother searching it up. Because knowing you, it's not going to be good. Let's see. Oops, that's two A's. Let's see if anyone is in this group. Because I barely am getting any responses on Twitter lately. It's like I've gone invisible. And maybe that's it. Maybe I've been blacklisted. Maybe that's it. That twist about Villager number 54 already eating was huge for the fandom. Indeed. Intriguing. Truly a masterpiece in anime. We'll see. Oh wait, why don't I? Hold on a second. I know this is riveting content. I'm just needing to find someone else to talk to because the deafening silence is kind of killing me here. It's kind of it's a tidbit annoying, you know. I want to talk about this, but I'd like to have at least somewhat of an audience before I start. I'll probably give it about another 10 minutes. I'll check with people and see. Also, apparently you have approved links on streams. I do? Oh, I have to approve links on. Oh, okay. I see. Okay, so if someone were to leave a link in chat, I would have to approve that people are free to do so. Gotcha. That's understandable. That would explain the reason why the links you sent before were not allowed, I think. Let's see what's here in chat. I think that's a good thing. I just found out where the moderator button is, so now I can make people moderators if I want to. At least I think I have. I might do that. Let's see. Okay, give me a sec. I need to send this link, obviously, first and foremost. And then we'll probably get started in a few. Let's check chat again real quick. Plot twist, Turtle Time becomes moderator. I don't think that will ever happen, sir. I don't know if I'd make you a mod. I don't know you. I don't know you other than you like to troll my streams and make funny comments, which I do appreciate and approve of. But I don't know if you are moderator worthy. That's the what happened? Well, we're going to be talking about some stuff that involves Netflix. So, hello, Underworld Dream. Welcome to the stream. We'll get to that. I'm just going to see if some people are going to hop in and whatnot. Well, Dalton said he'd hop in probably in a couple minutes. He's eating dinner right now, currently. So we'll have to wait for that. But, well, I guess I can... Well, I don't know. There's also Oh, what's his? There's another guy by the name of John who might join. Did we cover Castlevania? No, we have not. Oh my gosh, I forgot. I've been a bit out of it off and on over the last couple of days, Underworld, so I'm very sorry. I started watching the show. I think I watched the first few episodes. And so far, really good, but I haven't done that stream yet. But we will, hopefully. I'll try and finish it this week. I've been watching other animes and whatnot, so that's probably and whatnot. So it's probably why I haven't gotten to that. But I'll try and steam through Castlevania so that we can do a stream about it. I'm sorry.
How you doing, gentlemen? How y'all doing?
Hello. I'm doing well. How are you, John?
I'm doing good.
Good. Cool. Well, everybody, welcome, John. Say hi to everybody.
Hello, beautiful people. Hello.
I don't think I've had a chance to be formally introduced to John, but hi.
Wasn't you on England team stream before?
I don't think so. I know that I've been on streams with people, but I don't know if I've ever been on one with you. I know who you are. I've seen you on his streams multiple times, but aside from that, I'm drawing a blank if we have or not. We may have. I don't know. And Smaxo is finally here. You're late. I've been here for over 15 minutes.
So Dalton join or anybody else?
Well, it depends. England team probably won't because he doesn't know what we'll be talking about. But
yeah,
it's not really his realm of expertise. But I don't know if anyone else is coming. I'm kind of. I messaged my friend Rabbit to see if he would join, but I don't know if he will. It's okay, Smaxo. I was messing with you. I know you're at work. It's fine. Just you probably also had to wait for notification. This is YouTube.
Yep. Good old YouTube.
Good old YouTube. I'm here, obviously. Yeah, well, Turtle Time, you've been here since the start of the stream. And you're always here stalking my stream, sir.
So, did you just start it, or how long you been streaming?
I've been streaming for about 15 minutes almost. I was hoping that people would start streaming in, but it was just me and Turtle Time having a conversation about him becoming moderator. No, he's not going to become moderator. But yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, so people join in.
Yeah, I'll wait for Dalton so that we'll just. I don't want him to like hop into the conversation and then be like completely lost on what we're going to be talking about. But if you want to, you can, more formally introduce yourself. Tell me like what your interest in anime is, or what's your favorite, or something of that nature. If you want to start off with that.
Oh, there goes Dalton.
Is Dalton here? Oh, there he is. Yep. Never mind. Forget I said anything, John. You're disbarred.
Well, my all-time favorite anime is Tetsuden 28. My most favorite of all time.
That's old.
No, not the 80s one. The 60s one was mad, but the 80s one, that's where it was at. And the one in the 90s was mad too.
Okay. What were you guys talking about before I shut up that he had to be disbarred from?
No, well, I asked him what his favorite anime was and whatnot. And he said Tetsujin. What was it, 88?
Tetsujin 28, the one from the 80s. The one from the 80s is the best one.
Okay.
Actually, the 80s is when all the giant robot animes were at their peak. The 80s and early 90s.
Yeah, it started in the early or late 70s and it peaked.
Yeah, of course it started back then, but they were good. Like, the real good ones like 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
I think if you asked me, I would probably say JoJo's.
Is it for all the dank memes?
It's partly for that, partly for the mystical element, and partly because any given JoJo is hot. Yeah. shortly thereafter, you would find Death Note on my list, and probably as new as it is, the new Castlevania anime is pretty damn good.
Yeah. Well, Underworld was actually talking about that in chat a few minutes ago. He was like, when are we going to be doing the review for Castlevania? We'll be doing the stream eventually once I actually get off my lazy ass and finish watching it.
If you guys want a review of season 1, my review of season 1 is already up. So you can go and view that if you're looking for some Castlevania review content. I'm working on my reviews for season 2. It's just, there's a lot of explaining I got to do, and it's a pain in the ass. So it's taking a while.
That's true. You can always check out Dalton's channel for Castlevania related stuff and other mystical related things.
You can indeed.
Anywho, I guess we can kind of start what this stream is actually supposed to be talking about, and it's going to be talking about Netflix related stuff because some people were asking me on my last video when I did the Shonen Jump versus the DC Comics 100 Giant, and I was doing a comparison related video. Everyone's like, hey, have you heard what's going on with Netflix and Evangelion and whatnot? I'm like, okay, what the hell's going on? I know Evangelion was coming. What else is going on? What is Netflix doing to screw the pooch even further? Probably because, that's par for the course at this point.
What they're wont to do, yeah.
Yes. So I'm going to share my screen real quick. And we'll see the infinite void for a bit. I can't speak. Comicbook.com. So we've got this going on. We have the original Evangelion voice actor comments on possible new English dub. Oh boy, that's fun. I know that some people are actually pretty annoyed by this subject. I watched Weaponize talk about this with some people, and it sounds really bad on paper. I don't understand this, actually, unless the only thing I can think of for Netflix is of why they would do this is if they don't have the rights to the dub itself and only have the rights to the actual, Japanese series.
Yeah, or they're morons.
Obviously, that's like the go-to one. I'm just trying to find a more rational reasoning as to why they would do it. Like maybe ADV Films still holds some sort of rights over it. I doubt that, but you never know. 4Kids is still technically in existence.
Much as I would prefer more rational explanations, at this point, I'm gonna have to go with the "or they're morons" corollary there.
Okay, yeah, we'll go with that for the most part. But yeah, because it says here that one of the voice actresses, Amanda Wine Lee, basically said that they're redubbing, and also it sounds like she wasn't contacted either to come back, which is very odd.
Yeah.
It's like, what? I mean, if you want to redub it because, it would the potential to redub something because it might, improve the quality of it, stick to the source material, but make everything, better sound quality and maybe even make it HD.
Yeah.
There'd be reason to do that. Remastering stuff is not anything new.
Especially as long as they've got the amazing voice talent from the Castlevania anime on the payroll. They could just as easily go and be like, hey, can you dub over this, that, and the other? Well, they have them on the payroll. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but to ask that question too, like, you got to think about it. But we want like the original Dragon Ball Z redubbed with just new voice actors of the same crappy animated quality.
The Dragon Ball Z dub has been
the very first one.
Yeah, but Dragon Ball Z has been redubbed countless times.
I'm talking about the very first terrible one, the one that nobody liked before they just start doing the other ones. Well,
yeah, we want to. Obviously, me personally, I would prefer them not to redub it. If at all possible. because, well, it was something that's been mentioned. It's like, hey, they might tweak and rescript everything and re-edit everything. And
Why?
well, okay. The one thing that I'm trying to understand here, or well, not trying to understand, but what I can potentially think of, what was it? The first thing that I'm drawing a blank. God damn it, brain, start functioning. What was it? Re-editing it, because if we're talking about the first 26 episodes, the one thing I know that a lot of people worship the ground that Evangelion walks on. I understand that, and I'm not bashing anybody for loving the show. But if anybody forgot, they burned their budget halfway through, and a good portion of the last few episodes were almost not even animated in some cases, and it was bad. It was horribly edited and horribly animated. So if the plan was to, well, I doubt they could recreate those scenes again. That's probably never going to happen. But if they were planning on cutting some of that out, some of the stuff that was terrible, I could understand that, but I don't think that the whole concept of like having to re-script it also makes no sense to me either. Or at least that's what somebody said. But the thing is I was actually wondering, I should have probably asked Weapon if he like had any information of where it says that they're going to be re-editing it. Or, well, not just re-editing it, but also re-scripting it, because I didn't find anything. Or at least not from the initial search. But
yeah, re-editing it makes a certain level of sense, but re-scripting it, like,
yeah.
okay.
But I'm just like, I would like better confirmation. It's like, if it's going, I was wondering, it's like, where did that come from? Did it come out of thin air? Stuff of that nature, because I wasn't sure. But, oh, Jesus. Why is there there's an infinite void because of other reasons. God damn it. Never mind. Anyway. I don't know. Oh. Turtle Moderator 2020. Okay, so
well, I mean, on those lines, there's a bunch of animes I would like to see, not redubbed, maybe like redone. Like, I mean, continuations of certain stuff. Like, I would love to see more from Vampire Hunter D. That's one that had 2 movies and that was like done. Sailor Moon Crystal sucked. I definitely want them to redo that. And I'm surprised nobody's trying to redo Ronin Warriors, because Ronin Warriors is popular. I would love to see a redone version of that.
Or at the very least, put it on a streaming service so people can watch it again. Yeah, I'd be cool with that. Oh, are people fighting over my Evangelion comment? I wanted a sequel to Shin Mazinger. Okay, that'd be cool. I know that the thing that Weapon was talking about was the potential that they might re-edit some of the more questionable elements of the show, some of the darker stuff and whatnot, especially that which might pertain to women and whatnot. I'm like, it's certainly possible. But I mean, they have rated R content on Netflix all the time, so I don't know if they're really going to do that. I mean, do they want to piss off anime-related fans more than they probably already have?
I don't think they realize they're going to. It's one of those cases of looking down upon a given community and being like, well, they'll accept anything, so we can do whatever we want, and then being surprised when the inevitable, no, we actually care about merit and shit, comes out and smacks them upside the head.
Yeah. Always have to be, cautious, when it comes to Netflix and a lot of their current decision making. I would definitely, err on the side of caution, but don't destroy them just yet, or go in full battle mode. We don't know what's going to happen. I'd like to wait for more information Why does Dalton sound sad? Does Dalton sound sad? He sounds normal to me.
I'm fine. What it might be is I might be coming off a little bit of a high because someone asked me to do like a video crossover with them today, and it's my first one since being a YouTuber, so I was a little overexcited about that. So
and then when you jumped on the stream, a lot of that was gone by now.
Yeah, it might just
temporary high end.
It might just be that I'm coming down, so that might be why.
Yeah, no, I get that. I totally get that. I've had that feeling before too. Trust me. Considering the first collaboration videos I ever did was with my buddy Rabbit, so I was like, "Wait, you want me to work with you? Why?"
Yeah, it was kind of like that. The guy by the name of the Rookie Critic decided to include me in his like season 2 finale, so I was all excited about that, and I just got done recording my bit for his crossover.
Oh, cool. All right. Let's see. What is Chad up to? Worst case scenario, they edit it to be more progressive. Yes, that is the concern. I mean, when the announcement was that Evangelion was coming to Netflix, I was actually initially pretty excited because, well, I've not fully watched the series before, so I would like to actually watch it on a legal streaming service, preferably.
You know what they should have did? They should have just like made, I don't know, what's that one? The Witcher. For instance, they should have made that an anime instead of casting Henry Cavill, because he is not fit for that role.
Nah, I saw the image. I'm like, nope, that don't look like the character at all. Not a big Witcher fan, but yeah, no, not quite there.
Also, John, if they actually did things that were sensible with The Witcher, what would Webb talk about?
Granted, yes, it gives him a lot of content and a lot of stuff to be angry about. And then we would be starved for content. He'd have to find his entertainment or his video material elsewhere.
Well, I'm sure there's some stupid thing being said by someone in Hollywood about gun control, but there's only so many times you can do that in a month.
True. Hashtag leave Evangelion alone. Agreed. I'm 100% with you there, Joan. Oh no, gonna spawn more normies.
My whole thing with The Witcher, I'd rather have a sucky Witcher animated than a sucky live action Witcher.
I kind of prefer that. The thing is I'm more of a fan of animation than I am live action to begin with, so because I like the potential that animation has of there are no limitations to what can be made.
And as long as we're speculating on what a Witcher anime would look like, this is the second time I've mentioned this in like 5 minutes, but since they have Garth Ennis on the payroll, just have him give it the once over and see if he can make something equivalent to what he did with Castlevania.
Yeah, that would have been actually a good source. The thing, people are talking about the fact that Netflix has been hemorrhaging money, but they've been hemorrhaging money for years. It's been at least a couple of years since they've been hemorrhaging cash. And the thing that makes this interesting is that would have been a surefire way to make more money. It's like Castlevania is a big success, and they know it.
And it deserves to be.
And obviously deserves to be. So why didn't you do the same thing with The Witcher? That's guaranteed money. A lot of people watch the animated related stuff on your platform. I mean, yeah, sure, live action stuff is great and all. You had all the Marvel based shows, but that's not going to be around for much longer either.
Yeah, that's the thing. Apart from Bright and which is even debatable, and the Marvel stuff and the Castlevania anime, what have you done right, Netflix? I hate to burst that particular bubble, but apart from those 3 things, which admittedly are good and nice and everything,
Yeah.
When was the last time you had a mega hit?
Never.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the stuff they have is just stuff that they license out. So
yeah. So learn from your 3 big successes there, Netflix, please.
Yeah, but also Netflix making that announcement for like a live action version of Cowboy Bebop. I'm all like, please don't. Please just don't. Your last live action undertaking that was anime related was goddamn atrocious.
Yeah.
I goddamn hated the Death Note live action.
Yeah, let's just say I'm writing it in the book. God damn it, because it needs to fucking die.
Okay, what was it? I do remember that I saw someone share an article too saying like that, don't whitewash it. I'm all like, wait, I think it was an article on like sci-fi, because of course it is, because that's a trash website now. Thank you for that. But I think it was that they were saying like, don't whitewash the cast. I'm like, as far as I could tell, probably most of the cast is already white. Even in the anime.
Did you see that meme they did on Twitter about the black guy from the new Star Wars trilogy? They cast him to play Spike Spiegel and everybody blew their mind. What's his name? I forget his name. That's how important he is. The black guy from the new Star Wars trilogy.
John Boyega?
Yeah. He everybody they had this meme going around where they had him looking just like Spike Spiegel with the hair and everything, and they said, "Yeah, this is gonna be a new Spike Spiegel." Everybody lost their mind for a minute.
Yeah, I could see that. I bet Blockbuster has good anime. Thank you, Turtle Time. Thank you. That perfect. Yes, let's all go to Blockbuster. I'm sure that'll work out well.
Yeah, that made us all very, very nostalgic, Turtle Time. Well done. Now go in your shell and pout, because you should be ashamed.
I mean, forget Blockbuster. Remember West Coast Video and Arrows Video and the original Funko Land?
Yeah.
Before GameStop? Yeah.
Yeah, you want to know what's interesting? I actually still have a video rental store in my area. 2, actually.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
We need those. We still need those sometimes.
Yeah, because there are people out there who don't do streaming services. Yeah, Japan. And here's the thing with the Death Note. Yeah, Japan did 3 Death Note movies. Actually, they're working on a 4th one. Good. They're working on a 4th one right now.
Did you ever watch L Change the World?
I haven't seen any of the Death Note ones. I know about them and I know what happens because I know it changes the halfway point of the anime, because the anime decided, hey, let's take away a fan favorite character.
And replace him with 2 moralizing fucks for reasons that no one can comprehend. I hate fucking beer.
Well, L Changed the World was a good one though. That was a live action one that like it took place as if L didn't die, but Light died, but L didn't die.
Yeah.
But L's name was still written in the book, so he did some good. And instead of letting the book kill him, he I forget what happened. I think he burnt the book and he still died. Or something crazy happened. I just know like Light died, L lived, and he did some stuff before he actually passed away.
Yeah, and the new one is going to be, I guess, a sequel after that, where apparently the Shinigami are bringing more books to the world, or more Death Notes, and there's
right
now
that's the definition of a good idea. Wah, wah, wah.
Well, no, apparently, what was it? I guess the ruler of the Shinigami. I don't know. Maybe I can't remember. I saw someone talking about the synopsis. I may have to check again because I don't remember. But they were saying something about him dying or something. I don't remember if he's dying or if he decides that he wants to see if they can find another Kira. And instead of finding one, apparently they've found multiple.
Because, of course, in the age of the internet, you're going to find a bunch of high-functioning sociopaths. What could be conceivably easier?
Yeah.
Oh, my God, I just realized something.
Yeah.
Imagine a world where every social justice warrior has a Death Note.
Dear God, no.
Fuck.
If that was Fox, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. And I'm pretty sure people like Dilson Cabbage and Gil Simone would have been got rid of us.
Yeah. I don't know if I've pissed anyone off enough yet, but all you'd have to do is write my name, so God only knows.
Yeah.
Then it really would be important that you not be doxxed.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Back to the live action Cowboy Bebop actually for a second, because I don't know if Jet is white. It's hard to say. Kind of looks. He's pretty big. I don't know. I mean, he could be black, but he looks pretty pale skinned. So when I see Jet, I think of like very big, burly, white American biker dude. But that's just me. Ed's the only one I can think of who could, who's definitely not pale skinned at all, and probably not any type of Japanese.
You know what's funny though? It'd be funny if they cast John Goodman to play what's the name? Jet.
Yeah, that would be kind of funny. But the thing that makes this very odd is that when some people make that complaint about whitewashing when it's brought to the States and whatnot, sometimes they forget that there are a fair amount of animes themselves that are not based either in Japan or don't technically have to have an all Japanese cast. Attack on Titan does not, but things like Attack on Titan, Full Metal Alchemist, there's probably others that I'm drawing a complete blank on. But, there were live action adaptations done by the Japanese where all the characters are, Japanese. It's like, but when I remember they did the Attack on Titan live action, it's like, wait, like Eren and everybody else are pretty much, they're like white or European descent. And Mikasa is the only Asian one among them, actually. I don't know.
And also aesthetically, like the Japanese very rarely actually make people look Japanese. They always go for very, very Caucasian looking motherfuckers. So it's not like the Japanese give a damn. In fact, they prefer kind of aping Western culture because they kind of just like it.
Yeah, they go for whatever is aesthetically pleasing. What is it? Yeah, there's also a lot of characters from like Black Lagoon who are not Asian. Most of them are American or from somewhere else. I think the only Japanese person that I can think of from that show, I haven't fully watched it, but the only one I can think of, I think, is the guy who pals around with them, who's the normal person. I think he's the only one who's Japanese. In the manga, the ruler of the god of death gotten hook on Apple, so he turned a blind eye to Kira. If he did it, maybe because that's a terrible sentence, Underworld. I couldn't read that. Yeah, and Underworld, you're right. There is a plot about, people not being Asian and it being important. Yeah. It's pointed out, like, very relatively early, from what I remember from the first season. Everybody retreated to the wall for a reason, and not everybody could escape the Titans. At least not all nations, anyway. Okay, what other stuff was there going on with Netflix? Is there anything else that you guys wanted to talk about or cover real quick?
Nothing I can particularly think of. What about you, John?
Well, I could bring up this about Netflix. That you see that advertisement for that weird looking Super Drags cartoon for adults about the drag queen superheroes?
Oh God.
I'd rather
Yeah.
not because I've never heard of it, and I'd like to pretend that it doesn't exist.
Yeah, be careful watching Netflix. They're advertising it now. Like they did the advertisement around the same time they did the She-Ra advertisement,
Oh
and
boy.
it's supposed to be aimed at adults, but you know kids are going to end up watching it. It is cringe. It is cringe.
Speaking of new She-Ra, fuck and wow, that's shitty.
I mean, the SJWs think that we don't like it because she's flat chested, she's too muscular. That's not the problem. They got some artists who draw muscular women like She-Hulk and Wonder Woman with a particular bust size or whatever. The problem is not that. The problem is the animation is bad and it's made for Tumblr rights.
Yeah, and the plotting is shitty, and there's no artistic or creative merit behind anything. It's just let's make a She-Ra show because my ideology, because feminism in the current year. That's basically what the impetus behind this new show boiled down to. And my ideology is never, no matter what ideology it is, a good reason to create something. Ever.
Trump saved the humans in Attack on Titan. Thank you for that. Thank you, John. Yes. Because he built a wall. We got to remove these Titans. Anyway. Yeah.
Talk about the Sony censoring everything nowadays. That's one of the reasons why I stopped playing PlayStation. Sony's crazy new censoring laws.
Yeah, their new censorship has been a problem too. I guess we could cover that too. Oh yeah, someone mentioning the fact that they might make Ed trans or gay or non-binary. I'll be honest, I have no idea what Ed is. It's been a long time since I watched Cowboy Bebop. It's even longer that I remember whether or not Ed is a boy or a girl. So
actually, I can answer that real quick. Ed is actually a girl, but she's tomboyish.
Well, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't quite remember. I know the voice actress for the dub was a girl.
Yeah, she's tomboyish, but given the SJW culture we live in, they are probably going to make it like a binary androgynous character to please, please all the trans people out there. There's nothing wrong with that, but
Yeah, the thing is though, is that they do that with a lot of different characters where they already have labeled them as, insert this, that like they're trans or they're non-binary or whatever like that. I'm like, you can't make that distinction. That's up to the creators to decide whether or not they are what they say they are. I mean, I remember like watching things like Naruto, and there was the arc with Haku, and it's like, okay, yeah, originally everyone was confused. Haku looks incredibly feminine. Is Haku a girl? No, Haku is a boy. It just looks like a girl. Because, Japan. She-Ra ain't a woman. That's a boy and you know it. Probably. No one has an idea what it is.
Well, you know what pisses me off though? Back in the 90s, the same people who were crying about She-Ra were the same people that were making a big behind fuss because the two lesbians on Sailor Moon. That's what took so long to dub Sailor Moon properly.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, we had lesbian and gay characters back then that could have been on TV for kids, and they didn't want it. Now, suddenly it's a big deal.
Yeah. There's all the censoring and editing that they did to all the Japanese animation in the past, and now it's become a bigger issue. It's like, it's funny. It's like no one cared before, or no one said anything before, and now it's become a big deal.
No, it's the SJWs, the same people who cried about, Sailor Moon being dubbed in America and the two lesbian Sailor Scouts. Oh, we can't show that to kids. Fast forward to 2018, it's the same people who saying, oh, we need more gay representation. You could have had that back in the day. Just like how they edited Cardcaptor Sakura. Her older brother was clearly gay. He had a boyfriend. Then they made it, oh, that's just his best friends. They cut out all the scenes where they was like in a relationship or showing their affection for each other. Y'all could have had gay representation back in the day, but the same people cried about gay representation now. They're saying, "Oh, we need more of it." You had it back in the '90s, early 2000s. You said, "Oh, we can't have that on TV for kids." Now they must definitely have gay and trans characters and bi characters on TV for kids now. It's crazy.
Because back then the moralizing authoritarians of the world were mostly the fucking evangelicals and traditionalists and shit, and now it's the postmodern social justice left wingers that are
it's more like kind of like they've reversed roles.
Yeah, I would just rather a world where no one had the moral authority to dictate what culture did or what art did, but that's just me. Hey.
Oh. Right. Oh, what was it? Oh, well, we were speaking about like Sailor Moon and whatnot. On a positive note, they are bringing back Sailor Moon again, or they're finally going to be releasing the season 5 of Sailor Moon. I'm trying to remember. It was the one that they never aired in the States.
I believe it's like the final season, the one where she fights Sailor Galaxia and Tuxedo Mask, like gets kidnapped, like the beginning of the series.
Yeah,
and
it's also the one that introduced those Sailor
Stars. And those were like females who they came to Earth and disguised themselves as guy, like a boy band or something.
Yeah. So they never aired that in the States because
Not just that. The last 5 episodes of that particular arc, Sailor Moon fights Sailor Galaxia in outer space, butt naked, both of them. And you got to remember, Sailor Moon is supposed to be a 17-year-old high schooler. So, it was like, oh, we can't have a naked 17-year-old high schooler battling her worst enemy the last 5 episodes of the series, butt naked for whatever reason why they did that. I still don't know. Yeah. But literally, like the last few episodes, she fights Sailor Galaxia in space. And for whatever weird reason, neither one of them have their costumes on. I'm like, okay. Why? Why did you do this? She's a high schooler. She's a teenager. Why?
Yeah. So, yeah. But at least, you get more Sailor Moon now if you were a fan of Sailor Moon back in the day. So that's positive.
I mean, what they did do the DVDs back then, but you had to catch them when like places like, what was it, HMV and Tower Records still existed. They had like the box set of the Sailor Moon anime, but you can find it on Amazon now for like $200. They had like the box set of Ronin Warriors, the entire series, plus the OVAs. The good old times of anime, the good old stages. But sadly, if you go look for them now, you're gonna pay like a couple $100 because they're out of print.
Yeah. Well, it's the same problem with like we were talking about earlier with Evangelion. No one can go out and buy the original DVD sets. Oh, that was something I was going to mention. It's like what I wished would have happened with Evangelion is if Nozomi Entertainment picked it up and brought it back through DVD format. And that should have happened years ago. But they probably couldn't have reached an agreement. Because what was it? I guess I can kind of tell a bit of a story here. It was probably about 3 or 4 years ago, at least a year or so before I had this channel, that I found out that all of the Gundam DVDs were no longer in print, and I wanted to buy them at the time, but you would look online and whatnot and be like, oh dear Lord, no thank you, I can't spend over $100 for like the first half of the original Gundam, because Bandai America was closed down and Bandai never bothered to bring Gundam back in any way or find partnerships with anyone except for after they released Unicorn. And then after a while they started Nozomi picked up the rights and has been producing the DVDs since then. I would have liked it if Nozomi or somebody within that realm would have picked up Evangelion. But they probably couldn't because they probably were asking too much for the license.
Yeah, probably, especially since like Wing and After War and the the one that came out before Wing. Those are like the most loved and well-known Gundam series out there. Those are definitely hard to find, and the DVDs are expensive as hell. It was Wing, After War X, and the one before Wing, the one with the burning Gundam. I forget the name. G Gundam, yeah.
Yeah, G Gundam. Those were some of their more popular ones at the time, at least in the 2000s and late 90s. Those were their most popular. Although surprisingly enough, when it came to buying the DVDs and whatnot, actually buying one of the sets of Gundam Wing for me was actually incredibly cheap. I spent like $11 for the first half. Still need to get the second half, but now you can go out and you can buy the Blu-ray editions or the DVD versions from Nozomi. So, and they've been releasing all of them consistently. Ugh, Wing. Well, thank you, Smaxo.
Yeah, Wing was a good one, especially since Cartoon Network showed it all the time too. That was like a favorite on Cartoon Network. You know, you saw so much, you know, in the OVAs too, that you actually got a little bit tired of it. I mean, I wouldn't mind owning it, but you know, it's not important to own it because I done seen every episode like repeated over and over and over again on TV.
Right now, I'm giggling because Turtle Time wants me to pay attention to him. Yes, Turtle Time, I can see you in chat. I'm reading your comments. I'm not ignoring you. Don't throw a hissy fit, okay?
Don't retreat into your shell and be ashamed of yourself. Actually, you know what? Do, because you're a troll.
Oh no, I like G Gundam, but no, it's not the best one. Not to me, anyway. I know Smaxo is a huge defender of G Gundam. G Gundam is good, but I would not put it on the best Gundam list. Not even remote.
What made G Gundam good? You know, remember the Gundam video game, the fighting one? I think it was mobile. It was Gundam Fight or something like that on the first PlayStation, and they had like
that was Gundam Battle Assault.
Yeah, Gundam Battle Assault. Yeah, they had like a loosely based manga that was like hard to find now. It was like G Gundam versus Gundam Wing. You had like I liked it. You had like Chang Wu Fei, his Dragon Gundam versus Ultron Gundam. Now that was one of the best ones. I mean, yeah, Chang Wu Fei with the Ultron versus the little Chinese kid from G Gundam, his Dragon Gundam. That was beautiful. Then you had the Wing versus Burning Gundam battle. But everybody knows one of my favorite ones is Tallgeese, because Tallgeese was a beast.
Yeah.
Best mobile suit on the series. And plus Tallgeese had his own theme song. He had the hottest theme song in the series.
I'm not going to argue with you on that because the Tallgeese is my favorite.
Yeah, Smoking Bullet Train, that was a Tallgeese theme song. Like there was like two major scenes where Tallgeese was kicking major ass. They played that and when Zex Marquise first got Tallgeese, and then like at the end before he jumped into the Wing Zero when they destroyed Tallgeese, which made me upset. I was like, damn, best suit there. They had to destroy him.
Yeah, I like the Tallgeese because it's like whoever has to pilot it has to understand the risk of piloting it.
Yeah, those Veneer rockets like made them fast as hell. Tallgeese was a beast.
Putting it at full output crushes your body.
The only other faster mobile suit I seen other than Tallgeese on the series was maybe Gigantor's rockets from the 80s ones, and you had like Majin Z. I think he had like blasters on the bottom of his feet. Because I remember like when it came like Super Robot Wars and stuff like that, they was just like discussing like the difference in the mobile suits and the giant robots, which ones were faster than which. And I think Voltron could get like up to Mach. Gold Line could get like up to Mach 5, but I think that was it. Then I think like Big O was like supposed to be like the slowest giant mobile suit / robot there is. Yeah, Big O does move pretty slow, but Big O is still a badass anime. But that was a slow giant robot though.
Yeah, it's not designed to be a fast, speedy super robot. It's just a big robot.
He has some big ass guns though, man. So some of the artillery on Big O made him absolutely badass. And Big Duel and Big Foul, they were cool too. I especially like Big Foul.
Tallgeese 3 can go to Mach 4. That sounds about right.
Yeah, Tallgeese 3 was badass too, because Tallgeese 3 had the Buster rifle, of regular tall geese, and he had like the whip flail of the Epion, and Epion was another badass one.
Well, he had the Epion, the Heat Epion whip built in, and a modified, updated version of the Tall Geese's rifle. It was at least the third version of the Tall Geese's long range Buster rifle.
Tall geese free is like called the Mega Cannon instead of the Dobber gun. Because Tall Geese one was called the Dobber gun. Tall Geese free was called Mega Cannon. God, I missed the Tall Geese. That was my boy though. Yeah, Tall Geese free was badass too, especially when Zex had him.
Yeah, it had minimum screen time, but it was enjoyable.
Was enjoyable. Then let's not forget, was it? You ever heard of Daltanius? He was supposed to be the original Voltron before, the people in Japan sent Go Lion over before they, to be Voltron. They accidentally sent Go Lion over when the studio who did Voltron asked for Daltanius. Because Daltanius was that giant robot that had the big lion head in the middle of his chest.
I can't say I know that one.
Yeah, Daltanius is one of those 80s, combiner giant robot animes with a ship and like two other ships, and it was like this giant, like lion-looking robot that all combined together to a giant robot, and that's the one they wanted to be Voltron over in America. Just like Space Amoeba was another giant robot anime. That's supposed to be like the third Voltron series, next to the Diarugger Voltron, which was the vehicle Voltron. But when they originally asked for Daltanius, the studio sent over Go Lion instead of Daltanius. That's how we got Go Lion as Voltron. And a lot of people know who Daltanius is, but there's a lot of people who don't. But Daltanius was another badass giant robot anime, like done really good.
Yeah, I can't say that I'm familiar with it. I'm like familiar with one that does have a lion in it, which would be Galgaigar.
Yeah, that was another one.
Yeah, but I'm not familiar with Daltalius. When it comes to super robot knowledge, I am relatively limited because I haven't. When it comes to like finding a way to watch a lot of them, it's incredibly hard to do because not very many streaming services have the ability to watch them. And finding copies of the DVDs and whatnot are also incredibly hard to do.
A lot of that influenced Transformers. A lot of that 80s giant robot boom. Like they had the new Mazinger, they had the new Grandizer, they had the 80s Gigantor, Texugen, Daltanius, Go Lion, Diarugger. All that helped influence Transformers. And then, as a kid in the 80s watching Transformers, then you hear about all these giant robot animes. He's like, oh, this looks like Transformers or Autobots or Decepticons. Because when I first saw Gigantor, the 80s one, he has that his way his mouth is shaped. He's got like that Optimus Prime looking mouth. So I'm sitting there watching. I said, "Oh shoot, what's this?" So I was like, "Oh, okay." Transformers, was basically based off of a lot of that stuff. The giant robot, animes from the Japan in the 80s, but then.
Well, that's where the toys came from too.
Oh yeah. Then that because of that they brought over a lot of those giant robot animes too.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to chat real quick because the script doctor is here and apologizing for being late. You don't have to apologize; it's fine. Happy you're here now. You're late because you just finished Fate Zero. Good. You can tell me what you thought of it later, or probably in chat if you feel like it. There's a lot of super robot shows with lions on it. Yeah, that's true. There's a lot. I mean, they even did an homage to that with, what was it, second series of Gundam Build Fighters when they did it with Tri. And they had that one kid who basically made a Double Zeta Gundam that was basically a transforming super robot. That was fun.
Didn't they homage that in one of the Power Rangers seasons as well? One of the Zord attachments was a lion head, essentially.
They've done that a couple times. They probably did that with Wild Force.
I don't
because Wild Force, the Red Ranger is a lion.
Maybe, but I was thinking I could have sworn it was like Ninja Storm or some shit.
Oh wait, no, Ninja Storm did that too, but Ninja Storm was after Wild Force.
Yeah,
that was like the show right after it. But yeah, you're right. There was a lion in that one too. Yellow Ranger was a lion. Turn A versus Voltron. Who wins?
Turn A. Who's that?
Turn A Gundam.
Oh, Turner Gundam. Voltron.
It's a
The
super
only
robot versus a very, very powerful real robot.
the only Gundams I can see giving Voltron a run for his money is Burning Gundam, maybe Tall Geese 3, maybe Epion, Wing Zero, and like that's about it. I don't see nobody else giving Voltron a run for his money from Gundam. Maybe Quinn Mantha. Remember Quinn Mantha from Gundam Double Zeta? Quinn
Possibly.
Mantha was like that. That it was a big green owl looking robot. Like you look at the tips of it, it's like a giant green owl.
Yeah.
Yeah, Quinn Mantha was a powerful mobile suit.
How about Gridman? Are we talking about the new Gridman anime? Because it's freaking awesome. I've enjoyed it. It's a pretty damn awesome show. Uh, Moonlight Butterfly versus Mecha God. Tell me again who would win. Yeah. I mean, the one thing is that with Voltron versus the Turn A Gundam, I could see the Turn A Gundam at least throwing some good hits in. Because out of all of the Gundams, it is considered one of the strongest out of all of them. Because it contains 2 nuclear reactors, and those nuclear reactors help with the Moonlight Butterfly.
You know what? I'm surprised they never took advantage of. How come nobody's ever taken advantage to do like a Power Rangers versus Voltron comic? We've had the Power Rangers versus Justice League. Why can't we get Power Rangers versus Voltron? I want to see the Dragon Zord fight Voltron. I want to see the Green Ranger versus Keith and all of them. I mean, come on now.
That would be cool. I would love to see that.
Somebody should have been jumped on that comic book concept.
Yeah, because they do have there's a Voltron comic. I don't know if it's any good or not, but there's a Voltron comic based on the current version.
Yeah, if they could do He-Man versus Thundercats, and then He-Man versus Thundercats goes into He-Man versus Injustice, they could do Voltron versus Power Rangers. I mean, that's come on now. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
You know what I want to see in like comic form, a reboot of or some shit? Do you guys remember Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce Go?
Yes.
Yes, I do. Wasn't that on Saturday mornings?
Yeah,
it was It was a Disney when they were doing JetX.
Yeah,
it was JetX.
It used to be on JetX.
Yeah,
I want to see someone bring that back and make them do crossovers with like Power Rangers or some shit, because that would be hilarious.
Yeah, I'd like that. Yes,
I wouldn't mind seeing an adult Powerpuff Girls, like a Powerpuff Girls in the future. I'm surprised they ain't jump on that.
Yes, Joan. Tryon 3. That was the name of the Double Zeta for Gundam Build Tri-Fighters. Tryon 3, because it had 3 separate parts. One was a lion, one was a bird, and the other was a manta ray or a crab? I can't remember. I love Zero and hate it that it was a tragedy. Well, yeah, what were you expecting? If you're talking about Fate Zero, what were you expecting, Script Doctor? It's a prequel. If you watch the original, you know something happened prior. It is a tragedy, and you're supposed to feel sad. That's the point. Oh, wait, hold on.
Remember that anime with the rollerbladers? It escapes my mind right now. That real popular one, the rollerbladers.
Air Gear?
Yeah, they could do a live action Air Gear if they did it right. They could actually pull off a live action Air Gear. I'm surprised nobody's tried that yet. It is possible. Get a bunch of young actors together, and we have the technology and special effects to do it, but it has to be done right. I wouldn't mind seeing that live action, because Air Gear wasn't my favorite. I didn't think it was like one of the best, but it was something you could sit there and watch when you're bored and still enjoy yourself.
Wait, hold on. Joan is saying in chat, Turn A at its prime. It also has a black hole generator. Okay, that's something I didn't know it had. I know it has the nanotech device that allows it to create those moonlight butterfly wings, which can destroy technology, because it is a bringer of destruction and a destroyer of civilization. It's the reason why it was, hidden or buried to begin with. I did not know it could generate black holes. Now that I can think that it could generate black holes, it might have a chance to beat Voltron. Because that's bordering on it being a super robot. Actually,
well, we got something to top that in a way. Back to the Tetsuden 28, the 80s one, or even the one from the 60s. Tetsuden's rival, Black Ox. Black Ox was built with a weapon called the Laser Ray. The Laser Ray shuts down all machinery instantly, and he shoots from his eyes like an eye beam. And every time he fought Tetsuden 28, Gigantor, whatever you want to call him, like one hit from that Laser Ray, like all systems were down and leaves you vulnerable for like a good couple of minutes to any amount of attacks. And then, if anybody remembers the manga that happened after Gundam Wing, that continued the story after, actually, the manga they had that took place after the one where they had the Angel version of Wing Zero. There was a manga after that one. I forget the name of the OVA, but there was this Gundam that they found buried called Gundam Aquarius, and Gundam Aquarius was supposed to be built by that guy, what's his name? The one that had Porgies too. I forget his name.
Trace?
Yeah, Trace Kushinaga. Trace Kushinaga built Gundam Aquarius and buried him. And Gundam Aquarius had like a satellite like disc on his back, like shut down like all other mobile suits, like permanent. And he had like 2 flare lips, but no beam saber.
Some people are asking me to talk about Super Robot Wars T. There's a trailer with a lot of announcements for all the new robots and stuff that are coming in and the ones that are returning, which was cool. Because yes, Cowboy Bebop is making a return or is showing up for that series for the first time. Everybody's got to get to have the swordfish and use it to fight giant super robots. Because why not? Wait, Smaxo, are you serious? There are no Gundam Seed robots in the new Super Robot Wars? That is shocking to me.
I'm surprised they didn't put G-Force in there yet, because remember they had that craft that turns like a phoenix. I would love to see an American live-action G-Force if done right. Because G-Force almost reminds me of the Batman family, like a light version of the Batman family. If they had better training, they could probably give the Batman family a run for their money. But yeah, that's another one I would like to see over here.
Oh, Script Doctor is referring to what happened to Emiya. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, what were you expecting? I guess. I'm assuming, Script Doctor, that you haven't seen Fate Stay Night in any of its forms, especially not its 2004 version. Oh. Yes, that's right. Go Lion was in one of the Super Robot War games. And so was the Veritech fighters from Robotech. Like once. They haven't made a return since, which makes me sad. Because I wanted to see more Robotech love, and I can't get any from here. Damn it. Curse you, Harmony Gold, in your stupidity. You mean the anime where Shiro realizes that people die when they are killed? Yes, because that is a fact.
Lol.
Surprisingly enough, as funny as that line is, it is a line that he says. Unfortunately. I'm like, your brain shut off when you said that, didn't you?
Well, that reminds me of the old, Voltron cartoon where, remember the last episode where they tried to make it seem like Lotor survived, but he really didn't? because you can watch every last episode of Go Line unedited on YouTube and watch every last episode of Voltron on YouTube. Watch Voltron, then watch Go Line, and like all the people who died or were killed, you know, they had some stupid like explanation, like, oh, you know, like say if an innocent person got turned to a road beast and Voltron had no choice but to fight it, they would have like a scene where Voltron's fighting the road beast, and all of a sudden the battle would be over, and they're like, oh well, they fell into the ocean and they're caught in the current. But if you watch Go Line, like Voltron literally like slices this person in half, and he has no choice.
Yep, they're dead.
It's like the last episode of Go Line when Swin's brother like throws Lotor off the castle. Lotor falls to his death, and on Voltron, the American one, like, oh, they fell into the ocean and Lotor got away. No, stop. That's cheesy. Stop it. It was just so cheesy.
Yeah, I mean they still do that to this day. Like they do it whenever they do an adaptation of Yu-Gi-Oh. They do the same thing. Like there are characters that die or are dead, or a parent that's been dead for a long time. It's like, no, they're not dead. They're just in another dimension.
Seto Kaiba, man. Seto Kaiba was my boy.
Well, I mean, it's like, oh, what was it? Like for the first series and whatnot. Well, aside from the part that was never aired in America, which is considered season 0, where literally Yami does all horrible, horrendous things and tortures people for fun. And he seems to enjoy it. He's not even remotely kind about it. He's like, no, I'm going to hurt you. Or it's like, we're going to play a game. And if you win, you know, everything is fine. But if you lose, I get your soul.
That was a pharaoh doing that, right?
Yeah, yep. It was the evil version of him. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can find I think you can find the episodes of season 0 on YouTube, surprisingly enough.
Yu-Gi-Oh season 0 is fucked up.
It is. It's like really twisted. It's much darker than even the first season is. Even the anime adaptation, or, you know, the first season of the anime that gained its popularity in Japan is not nearly as volatile as that, because he's literally ending people. He does not give a shit. He's killing dudes.
Pharaoh biatch, basically.
Yeah, because I remember watching, I think it was like one of the first episodes, I think they were just playing a game of cards or something. I don't remember. And they were like on a tower in the city, and nothing, and you know, they were able to float on it, but the loser ends up falling to their death into the water.
Yeah, back to Voltron, right?
What?
Yeah, like I just talked about, the American version of Voltron, instead of Lotor, you know, dying, they said, oh, he fell into the water and the current carried him away and he got away. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because in Yu-Gi-Oh! They did that, or with like all of the seasons where we did get adaptations, you know, where things happened, where it's like, oh no, this person didn't die, or this person didn't get literally destroyed. Like, oh, what was it? I think it was in the first story arc on the island. What was it? Yami had to face off against that guy named Panic. Yeah, Panic doesn't survive, from what I remember. Or did he? I don't remember. I know somebody ends up dying. I can't remember who, but someone actually ends up dying in that.
I think you're right. I think it was Panic, who is no more.
Oh wait, no, it may have not been Panic. It may have been Kaiba's doppelganger.
Maybe.
Let me ask you gentlemen this while we're on the subject. Favorite Yu-Gi-Oh card or monster card? Or favorite card?
Oh boy. Probably the Blackluster Soldier. This is my favorite one when it comes to design. I just like
What about you, Dalton?
Probably the Dark Sage. I really like the Dark Sage, but in terms of like just cards in general, probably Toon World. I might not be very much like Pegasus, but I'm a sucker for Toon World.
Toon World was a badass magic card, though. I like Toon World. But mine would be Jiragumo. I'm sorry, I gotta go there. Life of the Sky Dragon and Blue Eyes The free hit of Blue Eyes White Dragon and Thunder God Dragon.
Yeah, Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon.
Yeah, Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. But Gerard Guma, that was my card, though. I used to love pulling that card. That and Thunder God Dragon. Because I had that Dragon Mirror when I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Until 2008. The Dragon Mirror powers up all Dragon cards. I used to love pulling out Thunder God Dragon.
There was one game I played with a friend that I pissed him off so much because he didn't prepare properly for the inevitability of, certain traps and whatnot. Because when in the early stages of Yu-Gi-Oh, Dragon cards are incredibly powerful beat sticks, but there are counters to them, like, Lord of Dragons, Flute of, or wait, wasn't Flute. I think it was like Dragon Capture Jar or something when they forces all dragons into defense position, no matter what, or it was some card of that nature. And I had built a deck specifically designed to counteract dragons because, he gave me Buster Blader, which I saw someone mention in chat. Yes, Buster Blader is also one of my favorites. I never had a chance to use Buster Blader in that match, but I annoyed him to no end because I had what was it called? The Marauding Captain, which forces you to target Marauding Captain and nobody else. I just annoyed him by equipping it with strong enough cards that he couldn't stop it. And then also the Dragon Capture Jar thing, I think, was just the straw that broke the camel's back, and he just...
Who had Exodia? Whoever had Exodia. I had Exodia one time, but I got rid of it because I hate using it in my decks.
Yeah.
I could not pull it out in time. I pulled it out one time in the match. I looked up because we used to shuffle each other's cards before the duel.
Yeah.
And I used to play against my stepson. He shuffled my cards. The way he did it, he shuffled it with all 5 of my Exodia pieces were right there. I said, thank you. And then I could never do it again. That was like the highlight of my night that night. Because I was sitting there, right? I felt like, damn, oh, you get me. I said, oh, shoot, all 5 of my Exodia pieces. I got you.
Okay.
That was fun.
Yeah, I'm going to read chat. Somebody was pointing out that they wish that Ryder won in Fate. Are we talking in Fate Zero? Yeah. Having Alexander the Great and Waver win would have been nice. But he faced off against the King of Heroes, so he was doomed from the start. No one tops Gilgamesh because everyone else is a mongrel. Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 0 can be described in one sentence. Do you want to play a game? Yes, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is Saw. Or Yu-Gi-Oh! 0 is Saw. Oh, okay. Panic is Kaiba's... No, Panic is not Kaiba's doppelganger. He was a different person. You have a bootleg Exodia with a full art of Exodia. Okay, that's fine. I guess. Who needs official cards, right? Oh boy, but let me think.
My favorite OP card was Obelisk the Tormentor. It's my favorite of the Egyptian god cards.
You mean the card that you weren't even legally allowed to play? I know that there's a version of it now that you can legally use, but back in the day, the Egyptian god cards were completely pointless. They were just promotional material.
Well, I mean, they were legal back in the day until, people started. I mean, I forget what happened. Somebody cheated in the tournament, and then they decided to ban all of them. But they were legal when they first came out, and then after a while, if you was playing an official tournament duel, if you had it in your deck, you were disqualified. But it was Slifer the Sky Dragon, Obelisk the Tormentor, and the Winged Dragon of Raw. After a while, they were pointless. They were banned for tournaments. I actually had all 3 of them. They weren't the bootleg ones either. I had the official ones, and I pulled out Winged Dragon of Raw one time in my Yu-Gi-Oh! Dueling career. One time I pulled it out, and I still lost.
Yeah, I know that they're legal again now because there's so many cards out there that now bust the game to the point where it's like, yeah, you can have your Egyptian god cards. You're probably never going to get a chance to use them because a lot of the newer decks and whatnot pretty much are designed to either end the duel quickly or stall you. So
remember Trap Hole and all those trap cards that would instantly wipe everybody's monsters off the field, even yours?
That wasn't Trap Hole. That was Black Hole.
Oh yeah, Black Hole. What did Trap Hole do again? It's been I ain't played since 2008, so I forget.
Trap Hole destroys one monster that is summoned in attack position.
I know they had some cards on.
So long as it has 1,500 attack or more.
I know there was like some trap cards that killed monsters on both sides though.
Yeah, that's like Black Hole. That Black Hole clears field.
Wasn't there another one?
There could be, but I don't remember. I know Mirror Force is another one that destroys the field, but it only destroys the enemy's field.
Yeah, I used to love Mirror Force. That was a perfect card to have in your deck too.
Mm-hmm.
That was a perfect trump card to have.
Mirror Force.
Now, all this talk about Yu-Gi-Oh again got me wanting to play it again. I ain't played it like 10 years.
Play Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links.
I felt the physical card game, like, because we used to have a lot of fun doing that.
Yeah. Physical game is fun too. I actually have a lot of fun playing the mobile version now, so. Because one, it gives me cards that I've never had before. and two, it's faster paced, and you're less likely to have matches that go on for like an hour to 2 hours. Don't play Duel Links. Why not? I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. I know that there's a lot of really stupid crap that happens. Meta is just Blue Eyes now? Well, I wouldn't know about the meta. I don't play for meta. I just play for fun. That's all I do.
Yeah, you know what? A lot of those tournament rules that people try to, stick by even when they play with their friends, because, just in case you went to a tournament, you wanted to, be used to the rules and whatnot. They actually ruin the game with all those crazy rules and stuff, because it's like, oh, this card is banned, then another day this card is banned, and, they come out with this card and you're using it to the best of your advantage. And, oh, wait, that's tournament banned too. And it's like, shoot. That's one of the reasons why I stopped playing altogether. Like I had like 2 decks. I had a Dragon deck, and I had a deck with like a lot of magic-based monsters. I said, you know what? Yeah, I'm done. Because they kept changing the rules.
Yeah.
They pissed me off. When they banned the Egyptian God cards, there was like one other card they banned. I was like, you know what? I'm done. It's not fun no more.
They banned cards like Dark Hole and
that too.
Monster Reborn.
Why would they? Okay, that's just stupid. Monster Reborn's awesome.
Yes, it's a great card, but because you have to remember, at the time, Monster Reborn was guaranteed get whatever monster you want out of your deck. So if you have something like, let's say your opponent managed to destroy either your Blue Eyes White Dragon or your Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, and you want to get it back, Monster Reborn is a guarantee because your enemy can't counter it, or at least not likely to counter. The problem was there weren't a lot of counteractive abilities that prevented you from doing certain things.
Wasn't Monster Reborn the card you could pull like a dead monster out the graveyard?
It was a guarantee you could pull. With Monster Reborn, there was no limitation. You could take any monster either from your graveyard or your opponent's graveyard and bring it to the board. Imagine, like, let's say you were on the defensive, but you managed to destroy one of his stronger monsters. Well, guess what? You could do something like Dark Hole, destroy the entire board.
No, I will say this. Remember Exodia Necro?
Yeah.
I had him, but I did have a bootleg one. Then they banned him too.
Yeah. Well, they also banned certain monsters like Sanguine or certain spell and traps, or the cards ended up being limited where you were only allowed to have a certain amount at a certain time.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is that Konami didn't account for things like power creep. And that's the problem with a lot of card games, is that eventually cards either become obsolete or they're or they're too overpowered, or they're easy to counter. Like Blue Eyes White Dragon is incredibly easy to counter, even back in the day. If you were to build like a deck that's designated to destroy dragons, the dragons have nowhere to go, and the opponent will lose unless they have some form of countermeasure, which most of them don't prepare for countermeasure. And now, they change the limited and ban lists on a regular basis. Some monsters have even been allowed to come back, or cards have been allowed to come back. Like Sangan, surprisingly. Sangan is now allowed to come back after probably about over like maybe 10 years of gameplay. Now he's allowed to return for some reason. And, other cards become obsolete. Like everybody likes character cards like the Dark Magician or Blue Eyes White Dragon. They became obsolete eventually. Fusion monsters became the meta of the game, so everyone ended up playing fusion monsters.
Yeah, that's why Dragumo is one of my favorite cards. I tried to, after they started banning all the good stuff, I tried to stick in there and do like an insect-based deck, and Dragumo became one of my favorite monster cards.
Yeah.
Here's a slightly more interesting question. If you could have any one of the Millennium items, which one would you want?
The eye.
They have black here. You want black?
Matter of fact, I'll take that back. The shield. The shield. I'm my fault. The shield.
Black.
There's a Millennium Shield?
Yeah, I wasn't aware there was a Millennium Shield.
Well, I mean the card, I forgot it was just a card that blocked a lot of damage.
I think he was referring to the Millennium items.
Yeah.
The ones that the characters wore in the show.
Yeah. The eye,
the one I remember, the eye. I like the eye.
I don't know. I mean, the eye is the one that's obviously the most beneficial to you because you get to read people's minds.
Yeah.
I mean, the Millennium Key is interesting because you get to look and unlock someone's mind, though it doesn't seem to be very effective for fighting duels. The necklace allows you to see the future. I don't even remember what the Millennium Rod does. Is that mind control?
Yeah, that's mind control or basically puppeteering. If I was going to be a dick, I would say I would want the Millennium Rod just because fuck you. But I kind of like the spirit of the Millennium Ring. I think we would get along pretty well. So I'd go with the Millennium Ring.
With Bakura's friend, Thief. I don't even know, what does even the Millennium Ring do? I can't even remember. Does it have an ability?
It does, but I don't know if they ever go into it directly because most of it is just
aside from his ability to create a shadow game and also track other Millennium items, which I think all the Millennium items are capable of doing. They all have GPS, I think. If I remember correctly.
It can do that thing where it like paralyzes fucking people.
Are you sure that isn't just the rules of the shadow game?
No, that's because the spirit of the Millennium Ring did it to Yugi's grandpa, and Yugi's grandpa was like, "Not again, damn it."
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. The Millennium Ring acts more like a compass. Yeah. I didn't think that it had very many other abilities other than being a compass.
It's like dowsing and truth seeking and just generic magic stuff. But still, I think the spirit of the Millennium Ring and I would get along well, and I'd just be like, "Hey, that's fine. You want to possess me? Cool, but when you take over the world, we're sharing it. God damn it."
Yeah. Okay, Smax was saying Blue Eyes is also easy to summon nowadays because there are like 15 different ways to get Blue Eyes out without tributing. True.
Yeah, that's another thing. They kept changing all the rules and stuff too. That's what pissed me off because like some monsters you had to actually struggle to call out, and then when they changed the rules, you get like, oh, all you gotta do is pull the card out now, and you got the monster on the field. Like, what the hell? I used to have to work for this. Now it's easy as hell.
Yeah.
Because if your opponent had that same monster card, they used to have to work for to pull out or sacrifice to pull out. Now all of a sudden, just if you get it in your hand, drop it on the field, that's it. I'm like, come on now, man. Making it too easy for newbies.
Well, the reason why they were doing it is because they were trying to make faster paced games, I think. Trying to have a better pace to the game and a better flow. Making it so that tournaments didn't drag on too long, especially for later on. because there was a point in time when everybody was making stall decks where it was just, I mean, like Exodia is a perfect example of this. If you really wanted to really irritate and beat your opponent, just have make it so that they can't, attack or defend, and then just wait till you get Exodia. And then win the game automatically. Or stall them out until they run out of cards. Allowing
Force to surrender. You're right about that. Or force to surrender.
Yeah. Yeah, but with things like OTK decks, which it's designed to be quick, efficient, and allow you to take over the board immediately. They do that they've been doing that for years now with a lot of the decks. Like Smaxo said with Blue Eyes, and even Red Eyes now has the same support. Where it's like, oh, hey, you want to bring out Red Eyes Black Dragon automatically? Boom, there you go. You can get Red Eyes. You can get Blue Eyes. Some of it is easy. Some of it is not so easy. The rules are still... I mean, I think the rules where it officially broke me, and I was like, okay, now you've gone too far with this power creep and this nonsense, was when they did when Arc 5 was created and they created pendulum summons, which allowed you to put a pendulum monster on the board, and then you were pretty much able to flood the field with however many monsters you wanted that were equal to the star level of the pendulum creature. I'm like, that's exceedingly busted. No, thank you. Yeah. Synchro isn't that bad, Smaxo, and neither is the XYZ summons. They're different conditions, but it's easy to build decks around them, and it's not nearly as annoying. I don't know anything about the new one with this new link system. I know nothing. The only one that I thought was really incredibly stupid was the pendulum summon. But that's just me personally. They nerf pendulum now, yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Smack. So when pendulum summons first came out, everyone exploited the hell out of it. And then Konami nerfed it. Which is what Konami does. It's like because they don't plan out like what the cards are going to do or how they're going to affect how the game works.
Yeah, it's like, oh, we fucked up. Well, we're going to penalize you for our stupidity.
Yeah.
Wah, wah.
That's what it came out that whole ban card list.
Yeah.
I have a quick question. Was that anybody remember that particular monster, like a centaur with a weird looking face?
I think I know the one you mean, but I can't for the life of me think of what the name of it was.
Yeah.
I forget his name. That was like a real powerful one, and so I forget who had it too, because I had that card too.
Yeah.
I think it was the one Bakura or the Spirit of the Millennium Ring had.
We're talking about a centaur?
It was a centaur. It had like this robotic looking weird demonic face. It was like a real powerful monster card.
Yeah, I can't remember it. I am not sure. That one kind of drawn a blank on.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was one that was in Bakura's deck, and the Spirit of the Millennium Ring used a lot because he had all those like zombie cards and the bone mammoth thing, and
yeah, it was like a really, really powerful card, and like it was like nightmare fuel looking almost. I forget the name. See that's what all this talk makes me want to go play Yu-Gi-Oh again, but I haven't played it in like 10 years. Like a lot of those like cards that like people fell in love with, it was like hard to get. I actually looked up and found them, but when they start changing all the rules and banning stuff, I said, you know what? I just sold my decks to the people I know who still play. Like, yeah, I'm done. I'm out. They keep changing up the rules.
Most of the older cards are in reprinted circulation now, so they're really easy to acquire. They're like incredibly cheap. If you wanted to go back and find like your Blue Eyes White Dragon, it's really not that hard to get them back. You finally got my message. Yes, Alberto, I got the message. What, you didn't you commented on one of the last videos, didn't you? I'm assuming. But yeah, we talked about the Netflix related stuff. We've already done that. Right now, we've just been talking about Yu-Gi-Oh for the last probably 20 minutes or so, or probably longer.
And I'm gonna have to get going here pretty soon because Legends of Tomorrow is on and I have to watch it to review it. So
Okie dokie. That is okay. That is fine. You are free to do that.
I've got about 10 minutes still yet, but
Yeah. That's probably what I was planning on doing anyway. I was planning on ending it here in probably about 10 minutes.
I wish I could get into those DC shows, but it's like so hard considering the state of everything DC's doing.
Yeah.
just watch my Legends of Tomorrow reviews if you want to get caught up on Legends of Tomorrow, I guess.
Well, yeah. I kind of have stopped watching most of them now, so
The only reason I'm watching Legends is because, for one thing, they've got John Constantine as played by Matt Ryan on it, and it's a magic-based season, so I kind of have to.
Yeah, he feels obligated to watch it.
I mean, Constantine's a bad boy, though. I mean, who don't like Constantine? I mean, I'm sorry, even the Keanu Reeves Constantine. I mean, it was good for what it was worth. I like. I mean, yeah, it's not Constantine. It's like he's supposed to be, but for what it's worth, it was still an okay movie to watch. I could watch it today and still enjoy it.
I call that version non-Stantine because that's the only way I can manage to make it with my brain. But yeah, it's a holdover from my childhood because the thing with liking all of the obscure magic user characters is they hardly ever show up on shows or movies or stuff. So when they do, you kind of are obligated to watch them because they're your characters. So
Yeah.
like when they did Ghost Rider and the Darkhold on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I got back into Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. just because they
Ghost
were doing
Rider.
that, and it stayed on. Well, the thing I was actually more excited about, more so than Ghost Rider, was the use of the Darkhold, because if the Darkhold exists, then that means the Book of Ashanti also exists, and that means eventually in the movies potentially we might see Agamotto, Ashtur, and Hoggoth, and we might see Doctor Strange actually cast incantations and shit.
Yeah, I felt the same way about when Shazam showed up in Justice League Unlimited for that one episode that basically demoralized him. I was happy as hell because like that's my favorite magic user from DC. Then it's like, oh, we're gonna have him fight Superman because we got to keep on shoving it in Foster's faces that Superman is the best and Captain Marvel is a nobody. I'm like, oh, here we go.
Yeah,
That whole fight was one sided and dumb. They could at least let Captain Marvel win the fight and then like have him look bad or something. Like, oh shoot, he beat up Superman, blah blah blah. Then it's like, oh well, at the end I'm quitting the Justice League, blah blah blah.
Yeah. I know exactly what you mean. I don't like Captain Marvel quite as much as I like other magic users though, because to me it's in a different like class. Like when it comes to magic user characters, you have people who use magic as a skill, that like develop it as a skill, and then you have people that just generically draw their powers from it. And Captain Marvel is more in the second type, along with like Thor and people like that.
Yeah.
I have more respect for people who use magic as a discipline, as a scholarly or intellectual discipline, and develop it as a skill.
I can respect that. Captain Marvel was my boy though, because it's like he's got that upbeat personality. I mean, who couldn't like him? I mean, he was like the ray of sunshine in the DC universe. He's got the mind of a kid, and he was created back then to show that kids could be superheroes. All those little boys that wanted to be superheroes and stuff. That's basically why they did it. The same thing, I guess, with He-Man and Prime, but like Captain Marvel just has like that special connection with readers, and it's like DC can't let that whole Foster thing go to like every time they show Captain Marvel in the animated form or even comic book form. Every time he shows up, is either Superman's beating him down or he's in Superman shadows. Like, okay, we get it. DC won the lawsuit. Stop shoving it down people's throats.
You could stop now. It was like 40 years ago, guys.
Yeah, stop that, okay? We get it. You won. Stop measuring dicks, okay?
and DC, while we're lecturing you over things, stick by your guns and call him Captain Marvel, for fuck's sake. Like, I'm so beyond sick of this calling him Shazam thing. Shazam is the wizard who derives his powers from, not the
Now that you bring that up, you know what's funny? If you ever read the JLA versus Avengers book back in 2003, they called him Captain Marvel in that book while he was standing next to the Marvel version of Captain Marvel, Captain Marvel. Like that, and I'm sitting there like, wait a minute, they used the name?
That was good.
Yeah, they called them both Captain Marvel. I'm sitting there looking at like, cause somebody said Captain Marvel behind you, and they both turned around like, who? I'm like, oh, see, here we go.
Yeah, that was actually beautiful, and I still wish DC would stick by their guns and call him Captain Marvel, because calling him Shazam after the wizard that gave him his powers is just kind of stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is, but then again, then not just that. It makes like a Superman analog even more. Shazam, Superman. Like, come on now. I mean, how much more are you gonna take this man's dignity away from him?
It's true.
All of the dignity. All
Yeah.
of it.
And not that I don't like Superman. Superman's an ideal heroic American apple pie household name, but I mean, Captain Marvel was just one of those characters. Like, you could reach kids with him. He's upbeat. He's always got a smile on his face. He respects the other heroes. He looks up to him, even though he is a hero. And this time, when Superman even admitted that Captain Marvel was a little bit more powerful than him. Superman's even admitted that in certain battles they had, where Captain Marvel survived stuff that Superman couldn't.
And let's not forget, and this is something that they always forget when they do the whole stupid Superman versus Captain Marvel thing. Captain Marvel's powers are magic based. What is one of the 5 things that Superman is vulnerable to on a regular basis?
Magic.
So what the fuck? This should be
How
easy.
can he lose? Well, I mean, I remember in Justice League Unlimited how Billy lost was because Superman found out how he was changing, which is that's a very Superman thing to do. Outsmarting his opponent. That's something he's done on a regular basis. And I can see that working. But if it's a knockdown, drag out, toe-to-toe fight, and he doesn't know how to stop him, he's not winning.
Yeah,
not just that.
He can literally call up a lightning bolt that is made of pure magical energy, and when it comes to magic, it basically suspends his Kryptonian advantage, and he's just a regular human. And I don't know if you've ever seen a regular human get struck by lightning, but it ain't pretty.
Yeah, I think that I remember there was that. Oh, what was it? There's that opening cinematic for the DC Universe Online game. The only time watching that, I think that's the only time I've ever seen where Superman is unaffected by magic at all, is when he's overcharged.
No. He
was facing off against Black Adam.
Yeah,
Black Adam tried to punch him.
It happened in the end. It happened in the end of Injustice 2 as well, when Superman was destroying the Helm of Fate.
Yeah,
and I'm just sitting there like, bitch, it is literally the strongest conduit of magic on this plane of existence for you. You shouldn't be able to touch it, let alone crush it like that. The fuck?
Well, yeah, that is one thing. And he wasn't. Well, like I said, when he was facing off against Black Adam in that cinematic, the thing is that he's been in direct sunlight for probably a very long time. In not just the sun that comes from where that reaches Earth. He's literally in the epicenter, right next to it.
Yeah.
So, and he's overcharged because when he hears the scream, he's literally hearing from millions of light years away.
You know what? I'm glad you brought that up, because I called bullshit on that too when Superman crushed Dr. Fate's helmet. I'm like, hey, come on now. That's impossible. That's impossible. I'm looking at it for real.
The strongest fucking protection spells on the plane of the physical universe of DC are on that fucking helmet.
I call bullshit on that scene.
He shouldn't be able to touch it, let alone squeeze it, if Naboo doesn't want him to, and Naboo should not let that helmet fucking go.
Yeah, just like how he killed Shazam with the heat vision through the eyes. I call bullshit on that too. Come on now. How many times Billy Batson took a heat vision blast with Superman during their fights and survived?
Yeah.
That's bull crap. Yeah. I had to call bullshit on Injustice 1 and Injustice 2. Y'all make it not only are y'all making Superman evil, now he's suspended disbelief we could survive all this stuff that would normally kill him.
Yeah, he's gone. one of my favorite moments in like the entirety of like Superman adaptations was in the Superman the Animated Series episode The Hand of Fate, when he's facing down. They call him Karkle, but he's very dissimilar from Karkle in the comics. And Karkle says, "You are strong for a mortal, but a mortal is all you are. You do not have the tools to defeat me."
I remember that.
That was the moment where I was like, where I'm just sitting there doing the flow clap, because nobody fucking says that kind of shit to Superman. But when you get right down to it, his powers are only physical in nature. He doesn't have energy projection. He doesn't have energy manipulation. He can't warp reality in any significant detail. He's just physically OP. And the most interesting heroes, at least in my opinion, are the heroes that don't rely on physical shit for their powers. I like telepaths. I like magic users. I like reality warpers. That's real power, in my opinion. Fuck this physical shit. Give me the ability to warp reality on its baser level. Like that's some actual power there.
Let's see.
Does anybody remember back in the day that old Legion of Superheroes comic where they basically told Superman, well, Superboy, oh, we can't have you on the team because if you're on Krypton, you're nothing but a mere human while we all still got powers.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
I remember.
Yeah. See that tells you right there. Like if on Krypton, you're just nothing but like a normal human.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
but anyway, I've got to get going because it's almost 9:00. So I'm gonna say cheers, guys.
Okay. We might stick around for a little bit because I wanted to read chat.
All right, have a good one, Dalton.
Bye, Dalton.
See ya. Cheers.
You know who needs to get more love? Booster Gold. I agree with you, but who knows how Booster is going to end up being at the end of Heroes in Crisis.
They treat Booster Gold like the Flash Thompson of DC.
Yeah. He's a Flash Thompson type of character, but I love Booster. Of course, I like Flash too, or Flash Thompson. He's a good, especially in his later years, he's actually a good guy. But I do agree, Booster Gold needs some more love and attention. Be nice to see him in like maybe the DC related universe films and whatnot. Whether or not he will.
A live action Booster Gold would be beautiful because I mean that's not a hard costume to do. No. And I mean I'm pretty sure it's not hard to find an actor to play him either.
Yeah.
And he's more grounded to reality. He just has a very powerful suit, which I mean they could do that if they wanted to.
Yep. Hi Eric, I know you're probably still here, and thank you for dropping by to give some sunshine. We appreciate it. Yeah, the whole thing of crushing Fate's helmet. Yeah, you don't do that. For one, you shouldn't do that, and two, I was like, wait, no, that doesn't seem right.
And the fact that Dr. Fate was even scared of Brainiac to begin with, too, that didn't make any sense. How the Lords of Order, like, oh, just let Brainiac do his thing. Then, the time of heroes is dead. I'm like, no, that's not Dr. Fate. They need to stop. That's not Dr. Fate. Dr. Fate will not give up like that.
The thing with that is that with the Lords of Order saying that, it's like it's hypocritical. Because Brainiac is creating chaos.
Exactly. It is hypocritical. Like I said, then Justice 1 and 2 make it seem like it's all about Superman. Even though he's evil, it's all about him. Everything he does is foolproof, and any plans to go against him, are null and void. And that's stupid.
Right. Yep, I agree. I mean, I like playing the games because they are mechanically fun to play. Story and some of the story elements for some of it is okay, but then the rest of it is just like, okay, yeah, no, now you're pushing it. You're pushing Superman into territory that he's not capable of reaching. What else was there? With the thing is, with like DC's like TV shows, the CW shows and whatnot, I've lost all interest in watching it, surprisingly enough. And I guess I wanted to talk about that for a brief moment, but the last 2 seasons of both The Flash and Arrow were disappointing. I didn't like either of them. Flash was better. I did not like Arrow's last season. It was goddamn terrible. I was like, who is this villain and why should I care?
Well, you watch more than me because I haven't watched none of it. I mean, everything's been going on with DC. I just can't bring myself to watch the shows.
Yeah.
I mean, I tried to watch Supergirl when they had Superman on there, but even then, it was like, what the hell's going on?
I will say that they picked the right actor to be Superman for the TV shows. I like him.
I mean, yeah, they did, but then they had that whole thing where, you know, Clark was like, oh, you know, Kara's more powerful than I am, blah, blah, blah. I mean, yeah, back in the 80s she was, but now it's like...
Girl power.
No. I mean, remember when Michael Turner brought her back in Public Enemy? Remember when she came back in Public Enemy? I mean, they said that she was kind of stronger than him then, too. They're like, if she wanted to, she could physically beat him. But I'm like, well, he still has more experience than you, so.
Yeah, and experience normally trumps power.
Oh, yeah. Yes, indeed.
Experience is always better. Well, I'm trying to... Oh, what was it? The problem is, for a lot of those shows, they shifted the focus in certain ways that I just can't approve of, especially with The Flash. I mean, the season where they had Savitar, it wasn't the worst thing in the world. I was okay with it. And then you bring in a villain that's not a speedster. It's like, okay, yeah, we asked you for this like 2 seasons ago. Give us something different. We don't want to have to face off against all of the really cool, you know, evil speedsters that the Flash has to face off against all the time.
I'm gonna say this too. This is why a lot of these the anime fans and the fanboys. I'm not gonna call them weaves because they hate that term, but the anime fan. This is why they say characters like All Might and Goku are better than Superman, because when you look at Injustice, it's like, come on now, Superman. We already know that right there could hurt Superman, but it's not. It's stupid. We have somebody like Goku who takes an ass whooping, probably takes a Zenzu bean or whatever, or he pulls the last of his power reserves to win the day, and it's still beat the hell up. Where, you know, you got Injustice where Superman's like, oh, he's vulnerable to magic. Oh, not when he's evil though. Oh, he's vulnerable to this, but no, he's evil, so he's vulnerable to everything now. No, it makes no sense. Yeah,
I mean, if the exception was that he was prepared for that weakness, like there are, like, I remember in the anime series, like, hey, he's weak to kryptonite. Well, how does he combat somebody like Metallo or someone of that nature? Oh, yeah, that's right. He wears a lead-lined suit to prevent the radiation from reaching him. You know.
And then I'm sorry.
There are ways to write Superman in a way that, like, oh, he has a countermeasure for if he runs into this problem. But
yeah, but that's why I see why people like Goku more, because at least Goku can take an ass whooping and come back and dish it out. Where you got some people writing Superman, oh, he's invincible to this, he's invincible to that, and no, he's got to have a weakness somewhere.
Yeah, there's a similar problem with some writers who write Batman too. They write him way too overpowered. He can take on anybody or anything, like no ifs, ands, or buts. It's like if we had just a straight up fight Batman versus Superman with no gadgets, or well, no, not with no gadgets, but with like Batman's not allowed to bring kryptonite to the fight. He's done. Actually, even with kryptonite, he's done because it's been
fun. Yeah, it's been, like you said, you know what's funny too?
You can't fight Superman.
Remember JLA X Avengers again? Remember when he had that little sparring match with Captain America that they both put their hands down? And Batman said, yeah, Avenger, you can beat me, but it's going to take you a long time. You really want to do that? At least he admitted Cap could beat him. At least he admitted that.
Thing is that when it comes to like Batman versus Captain America, I think Captain America could still actually win that fight.
That's what Batman said. Batman admitted to being able to lose the Cap. He said it's going to take Cap a long time, though.
Because the thing is like with Captain America, he does have the superhuman endurance. He can fight a lot longer than the normal man can. So Batman, though he is peak human physical condition, he does have limitation.
Well, they said, I heard the longest Cap could fight without getting tired is like a couple of months. They said the longest Batman could fight without getting tired is a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
he can fight a couple weeks straight, then he starts losing like momentum. They said Cap could fight for like a couple of months before he starts getting tired.
That
A
pretty
couple
much
of months straight. This is not without mind you, this is not without a break. You can't think no breaks. He can fight like a couple of months straight without breaks.
Yeah. Well, that's because Cap. The thing that people I think sometimes forget is that Cap is a super soldier. He's not a normal human being anymore, and he hasn't been for a very long time. I mean, yeah, he's not as strong as like Spider-Man or Iron Man in the suit or Thor, but he has stronger endurance. He's physically more stronger than the average human. And that's why, like, and I mean, even when you have other characters like Daredevil facing off against the Punisher and whatnot, and the Punisher has actually managed to beat Daredevil, it's like, no, that is not possible, not even remotely, because Daredevil is a living ninja with radar sense.
Yes, he is.
Frank's got no chance in hell of beating him because Frank is just raw, is very raw and very brutal.
No, you know what made no sense either? Remember, also going back to JLA X Avengers, I hate to keep doing this. The scene where Batman saw Punisher killing the drug dealers, and he jumped down to stop the Punisher when Plastic Man told him not to. And then Plastic Man with the Justice League and everybody else said it took him 20 minutes to beat a guy in Kevlar. Why does it take Batman 20 minutes to beat Frank Castle? Well, let's Frank Castle one tough son of a bitch.
It took
Batman 20 minutes to beat Frank Castle.
That shouldn't have taken him that long, actually.
That means Frank Castle one tough son of a bitch then.
Agreed. I mean, Frank is tough, but I really don't think that Frank could actually beat Batman because Frank just does.
But it took Batman 20 minutes to do a loon in Kevlar, like Plastic Man said. Yeah,
that's a bit odd. I mean, Batman is in Kevlar too, so that doesn't quite make a whole lot of sense to me. I mean, like there have been times when like people say like Batman versus Deathstroke and Deathstroke, or they think Batman can always beat Deathstroke, or it's just that rule Batman can beat anyone. It's like
Deathstroke beat him before.
Deathstroke's beaten him like. They're tied actually with how many times they've beaten one another.
One of the most embarrassing times Deathstroke beat Batman, he put his guns down. He told him, "Take your utility belt off and fight me man to man." Then they fought man to man. Deathstroke was piecing Batman's jaw for Jesus, and he said, "See, you taught yourself how to fight. I taught myself how to kill." Then he knocked Batman out with a knockout punch and then threw a bookcase on top of him. And just walked away.
And also, everybody has to keep in mind that Deathstroke's also similar to Captain America. He's not a normal human.
Nope.
He's got regeneration power. He's enhanced with extra strength and senses. Batman has to when fighting Deathstroke, he has to work for it. He really has to work.
Knocked him out. He straight up knocked him out in that fight. Though it was funny about it. It was like watching the Tyson fight almost, because like Batman was trying to hit him, and Deathstroke was like, nope. See, you taught yourself how to fight. I taught myself how to kill. There's a difference.
Yeah. Deathstroke is a killer, and he doesn't hesitate to kill either.
Then you got Owlman. Those Owlman Batman fights are funny too.
Yeah. Those I think would probably be a bit more evenly matched because they're pretty similar.
Yeah, just like the animated movie Chrysler on Two Earths, where Batman kept saying, "Oh, you was good once." He's like, "No, I was never good." You're wrong, buddy. I was never good.
He's like, "I've always been an asshole."
Yep.
I've been evil my entire life.
Owlman was giving it to him. Owlman was giving it to him in that fight, though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It was cool to watch too. And
it was.
Who was the voice actor? Was James Woods, right?
James Woods. Yep, James Woods. I love him in that role.
Yeah. Kind of wish that he was Owlman for the Lego Batman or the DC supervillain game.
That would be fun.
That would have been awesome, but he's not, unfortunately.
And see, that iteration of Owlman was actually badass. The costume, the grays and the blacks, and the fact that when he jumped out the jet, he did the whole wing spread, like how Batman does the bat wing spread for the glider. That was done beautiful. I want him in that costume more often.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, Yeah, I like that there are like with anime and whatnot. They always try and give characters limitations. Sometimes they get out of hand with giving them like superpowers and whatnot. Like Goku has like how many forms now? Way too many to count.
Well, I mean, I put it to you like this: if the DC and Akira Toriyama allowed a knockdown, beat down, drag out fight between Goku and Superman in the official one, I could still see Superman pulling off a win, but he's going to be hurt. He is going to be seriously hurt. He's going to be hurt before the death. So I mean, you can't sleep on Goku. Goku might lose, but Superman's going to be hurt, and a lot of people don't want to admit to that.
Yeah. No, I would admit to it because I do believe Superman has a chance to win that fight too.
He does, but he's going to be hurt, especially if Goku goes Ultra Instinct. Superman's going to be hurt. He's going to be hurt badly. To the point where if somebody don't get him to the sun quickly, he's probably going to pass out and die somewhere.
Yeah. Also, Batman in the movies is fighting Owlman with cracked ribs after his fight with Superwoman. That's true. Exactly. He was fighting Owlman with a goddamn handicap, and he still managed.
Yeah, but that's Batman though. He's used to crack ribs. He gets cracked ribs on a daily basis.
True. Cracked ribs from a super-powered woman. I don't know if that's any different than cracked ribs from a normal cracked rib, but he was still fighting because Owlman was at 100%. He wasn't injured at all. So Batman won with a handicap.
even in the comic book, Owlman has been shown to be more of a fighter than Batman.
Yeah. Well, it's also because Owlman isn't afraid to kill people, whereas Batman hesitates to kill.
Yep. That's why we love him. I mean, DC makes him OP, but that's why we love Batman. He's gruff, he's gritty. He's not afraid to punch somebody's face to the ground, but he's not going to kill you.
Yeah.
Gotta love it.
Yeah. I mean, All Might is one of those characters that definitely has limitation. He can only be in his form for so long.
I could see All Might probably give a Superman a run, but I don't know. He might be able to.
Well, considering Superman's ability of X-ray vision and whatnot, he probably realized that he's injured and can only withstand so much.
Then somebody like Kenshiro, I think Kenshiro might be able to hit Superman's pressure points. He probably could. Like I don't see Superman like flat out defeating Kenshiro because Kenshiro has a pressure point, especially with his power. He might be able to stop Superman. Matter of fact, he might be able to hit a pressure point to stop his body from absorbing sunlight.
That's a possibility, I guess. I mean,
that's stuff you think about because Kenshiro's a tough bastard too. And like in anime terms, a lot of people put him up there next to Goku. He's a tough bastard.
I'm trying to remember who Kenshiro is.
Fist of the North Star.
Oh yeah, Fist of the North Star, right?
Yeah, he's a tough bastard. He's a real tough bastard.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Sometimes when I see All Might, I think of it with some of the ways that All Might is fighting one out. I kind of am also thinking of Fist of the North Star a bit because, especially I saw the end of season 1 and his fight with that. Oh, what is it? Don't remember the creature's name. That giant black muscly thing with a bird face and an exposed brain. I can't remember its name. But he's like fighting it at his absolute limit, and he's just like punching it at like super high speeds, and then just final punch, just whoosh right through the building, and bye. That's a home run. See you later.
Yep. Then you got One Punch Man. Nobody really knows his level of power yet.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous and absurd power. His power is so OP that he's just bored out of his mind with how much power he has.
I hear the show is supposed to be more about his sidekicks and friends than about him.
Yeah, because he doesn't want to do it anymore. He's lost interest. I read the first volume of the manga. When I read the first volume, I was like, okay, is this just going to be about someone who's like super powered, who's just like fighting bad guys? But no, it's more or less of his existential crisis of he doesn't feel human anymore. He doesn't feel anything. He doesn't have emotion even. he's that dead inside because nothing challenges him and he's not afraid of anything anymore because his power is just so overwhelming. He just like, just like love taps everything. He doesn't need to worry about anything. Most of his fights in the manga that he has is he runs across it like when he's walking around. He doesn't even want to be in his costume or want to fight. He
Is
just
that a Shonen Jump manga?
I think it's Shonen Jump.
Yeah, because if he's Shonen Jump, they better put him in the new Jump Stars game.
I think he is, or he could be from somewhere else. I'm not sure.
I know they finally put Yu-Gi-Oh in there. Yu-Gi-Oh's making an appearance, and Light Yagami's making an appearance.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what? Well, with like the Yu-Gi-Oh characters making an appearance, I was like, okay, I could kind of see that working, but I was like, Light, what's he gonna do?
But right? Light was supposed to be in J-Star Victory Versus, though, but they never put him in there.
Yeah,
Light was supposed to be a DLC character in J-Star Victory Versus.
Yeah. It's a bit weird though, because it's like, what is he going to do? He's not a martial artist or anything. How is he going to function?
He would have had some weird, like, Shinigami powers, and the super special would have been him writing somebody's name in the book, and they get hit by something like a train or something out of nowhere.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how it will play out. I think the most recent announcement that they showed was that Rurouni Kenshin is coming in along with.
Yeah, but you know that show's tainted, right?
Huh?
You know that show's tainted, right?
I don't consider the show tainted. I know what the creator.
Yeah, but to a lot of people, they like the memory of that show is now tainted because of what the creator did. But I know you got to separate art from the artist, but yeah, a lot of people feel like, yeah, no, we're not supporting that series.
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, I'll still tolerate it, but I do understand how people feel. Like, oh, we love Rurouni Kenshin, but now you feel you got that dirty feeling in your soul. Like, oh my goodness, he was a what? Yeah.
The one thing is that from what I heard, he was actually released.
Yeah, but like the charges against him are like huge. Like they literally found that stuff on his like computer. They found it in his home on his computer, and they said he was. The evidence was overwhelming from what I heard. They had overwhelming evidence on him. Yeah,
it makes me wonder why they would let him leave.
I mean, he probably got bailed out. I mean, he still got to go to court, but he probably got bailed out.
Well, the thing is with the Japanese court system and whatnot, normally if you're accused of the crime, you don't get out of it. You're normally convicted. From what I understand of it, you're normally convicted. It's the judicial system there is a lot different from like here in America where it can be stalled out and whatnot.
Unless he knows somebody in power. He might know somebody high up too.
That's possible. But I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm still trying to get over it.
Yeah, I still love the show and whatnot. So
yeah, I'm still trying to get over that shock. And that was a big shocker to me.
Well, I think that there's the one thing that we always have to. One of the things that, one of my favorite creators is the guy who created Gundam, but that doesn't mean that he's an angel by any stretch of the imagination.
What did he do? I never heard about him doing anything. What did he do?
Well, aside from being, a senile, crazy old coot, because he is.
Okay, but Go Nagai's crazy too, but everybody loves him.
True.
Go Nagai is like the Japanese Alan Moore.
Yeah, they're eccentric. They're a bit crazy. But a friend of mine told me that at an anime convention, he did make some inflammatory comments about white people.
Wait, can he speak proper English, though? Is his English broken?
I don't know if he spoke proper English, but according to the translations that people heard, he spoke it in both English and in Japanese.
So he made the inflammatory statements against Caucasian people.
Yeah. And from what it sounded like, they were relatively racist comments.
But the sad thing about that, I'm not condoning what he said. The sad thing about that, a lot of people got to remember, Asians got this thing where they don't trust nobody. I mean, you know, they don't trust anybody.
And so you have to remember you have to remember when he was born. He was born in a post-World War II era Japan. And
they don't trust even the ones in America where we live at. There's a lot of Asian communities. They don't trust anybody but themselves.
Yeah.
So it's like, I expect that. I expect that from the Asian community. Because no matter what you do, no matter how nice you are to them, they look at anybody that's not Asian, you know, they're like, oh yeah, keep an eye on them. We don't trust them people.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those, and there are other creators in Japan who have said, you know, pretty inflammatory remarks and whatnot. And aside from just like separating the art from the artist, is that it's one of my actually kind of a bit of a pet peeve for me, especially when it comes to like modern, especially with like modern comic book creators, especially. And whatnot, it's like you put them so high on a pedestal to the point where their ego has gotten the better of them. And, you know, it's their name that sells the books more so than the work itself.
Yeah.
Of course, with popularity, I think that's just, you know, a side effect. But you have to understand that, you know, humans are imperfect creatures. They are bound to disappoint you in some form or another. Because, I mean, there are artists out there that have done terrible things. There's like all of the historical figures that have done horrible things. You know,
exactly.
Founding fathers are far from perfect.
Exactly.
You know, they had their fair share of, you know, poor decisions and making and things that they did that were wrong. You know, even though, you know, they were fighting for the betterment of the United States and whatnot.
Exactly.
It's like people can be truly horrible. I mean, there's that thing that they always say, never meet your heroes. There you go. That's why. Because they're bound to disappoint you at some point.
I mean, I think at this stage of the game, consider how the people in Marvel and DC act and how some of these anime creators and stuff act and the controversies they're caught up in, it's safe to say that they're flawed human beings and, you know, love the art, not the artist. Because, you know, I mean, look at other people in like you know, the video game portion of Japan. You got people like Yashiyuki Ono, who Capcom fired recently, not too long ago, because the debacle that went on for Street Fighter V for years. And then you got people like an Arc System like Mori, who did Blaze Blue. Like, you know, you hear a lot of different stuff about his reputation, and you know, you got people like what's his name, Oda from SNK, who's doing the King of Fighters series right now. You know, and Harada spends all day. Harada's a big one from Bandai Namco with Tekken. Harada's on Twitter all day arguing with his fans because the fans ask a simple question like, when is Jun Kazama coming back to Tekken? And he'll sit there and snap on everybody. I'm tired of getting Jun Kazama questions. If you want Jun Kazama, go play Tekken Tag 2, blah blah blah. And he's known to argue with American and Japanese fans. Like, he doesn't care, but people still love him. So it's like, love the art, but, you know, love the art, not the creator.
Yeah, well, I would take it a step further with that. It's like, not just love the art, but also love the characters.
Yeah, love the characters, not the creators, because all these creators are showing that they're crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Creators can be crazy. Sure, there's always the exceptions to the rule. You know, no one's perfect, but there are good creators out there who are friendly, kind, or at least they try to be as best they can. You know, I try to be as, you know, polite and friendly, and
you got to
pick the hornet's nest as much as possible. Try not to.
Yeah, I've seen people like Harada argue with people on Twitter, so I mean, I believe it to be true. I've seen it. I've sat there and looked at his Twitter profile and seen it. It's like, oh, okay, whatever.
I would have just recommended just mute the words.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's like, if it's bothering you so much, you know, there are filters for Twitter and whatnot. You can just mute those particular words or block those words. You never have to see them ever again.
But then again, it's worse because you got whole companies like Sony with this censoring bullcrap. So it's like, it's not just one man doing this. This whole company's doing this crazy. It's now pissing people off. So it's like, you know, that's why me personally, I've been stopped supporting Sony when they did something hypocritical, like, oh, we're going to censor anime games with boobs and naked women, but we're going to let you play Red Dead Redemption and walk into a brothel with naked prostitutes. Like, no, you're being hypocritical. You're being hypocritical. So anime games get censored, but Red Dead Redemption, you get to see, you know, realistic naked women in the whorehouse. Yeah. That makes no sense.
Agreed. I 100% agree with that. It's ridiculous.
So that's why everybody's boycotting Sony right now, because their censoring laws make no sense.
Yeah, their censorship rules are ridiculous.
Cinnamon Kagura bad, Red Dead Redemption good. No, that makes no sense.
Yeah, I mean, I still have my PlayStation systems. I'll still probably buy games for them. Probably used, because that's where I buy most of my games anyway. Everything I bought was used, so Sony did not really get very much money out of me, except for whatever I bought either digitally.
It's going to take a while if I can forgive Sony because like that censor law is going to take effect on a lot more stuff. We're going to start seeing a lot more stuff get censored. I guarantee you, it's going to be not just the anime games. They're going to try to do a lot more stuff with that censoring thing, and a lot of people are going to get pissed off by that.
I know full well, because the thing is that the one thing that's interesting is that people are boycotting Sony now, but it's like the thing is that Sony has been an issue for quite some time. It is a terrible company.
Yeah, they are. They are.
People would say like, "Oh, you mean Sony Studios?" No, I'm talking about the game division.
Yeah, the game division. That's where all the problems are at.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, the film division has its fair share of problems and controversies. Well, now the game division is getting more light shined on it, but it's like you guys have no idea how bad it's been. So, or at least some people probably are not aware of like the terrible practices and the damage that they've done that don't even have anything to do with censorship. It's just with bad software, bad customer service. Because I think about like maybe 6 months ago or maybe a little longer, there was an update for the PS4.
Yep.
That update like destroys your hard drive.
I heard about that.
Yeah. It's like people were warning, don't install this update. It's terrible. Don't do it. It could end up destroying your system, and Sony will not reimburse you for it, even though it's their fault.
Not just that. Remember how the president of the video game division, the Japanese guy, he wanted to step down, but they wouldn't let him step down, and he was like, "Oh, well, I barely get to see my wife and kids. That's why I'm stepping down because I'm always working." He's been working. He's been working for 20 years making game systems and making other families happy, and I barely see my family. And they made a big deal about him stepping down to spend time with his family. I'm like, what the hell is going on at Sony?
Yeah.
Like, his exact words was, I want to spend time with my family. I barely see my family. I see other people's families more than I see my family. Yeah. So I could respect that. I mean, the man spent 20 years making good game system and giving us a lot of good memories. Let the man spend time with his family.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's bound to happen. I know that if there's a new console that comes out for Sony, I know I'm not going to buy it because I actually have a very strong love-hate relationship with this piece of junk that's sitting next to me.
Well, the PS5 is already rumored to be like $2,000, so.
Well, screw that then.
Exactly, because remember all the rumors on PS5, they're trying to make it a complete and total virtual reality system. So they make it a complete total virtual reality system plus the other stuff they're adding to it. There's a possibility that it's going to be about $2,000.
Yeah,
around like $1,500 to $2,000, something like that, something crazy like that. If not $1,000, it's going to be like $1,500. But even though $1,000 for a game system is too much.
The one thing that's actually kind of what was I thinking? I was just thinking about something that Sony was going to do.
Yeah, I'm not paying $1,000 for a game system. I'm not going to pay $1,000 for a laptop. I ought to pay $1,000 for a game system.
Yeah. Oh man, I was thinking of something and now I lost it. Damn it. There was something that happened or was going to happen in some form or another, and I was like, "Oh God, that's terrible."
What the Sony did?
I think it had something to do with Sony, but I'm drawing a blank now on what it was that I was going to say. I do that sometimes. What
haven't they done? Remember that whole thing where all those Sony PlayStation free players got hacked, their accounts got hacked?
Oh yeah.
And this Sony try to make it so like, oh, it's not our fault. Like, whose fault is it then?
I still to this day will not let them have any of my personal information. They don't get to see any of my credit card information or anything, or debit card or anything.
Yeah,
if I want to buy like digital games and whatnot, I just I'll go and buy the PlayStation cards instead.
Yeah, see, all my games I did have on PlayStation were downloaded because I didn't want to have a whole lot of disc sitting around because I already got like 45. When I did have a PS4, I had 45 games on my hard drive,
Yeah.
45, and none
Wow.
of those were discs. They were all downloaded.
Wow.
Yep,
Yeah.
everything was downloaded. So yeah, trying to get no money like that either. So I was like, you know what, I'm just downloaded that, and I didn't want to have a whole bunch of discs sitting all over the place because that gets frustrating
Understandable.
too.
Yeah.
That takes up a lot of room because when I had the PS2, I had like 50 something PS2 games, and I had all these cases and stuff sitting around everywhere. And my
Yeah.
stepson wanted to borrow my games, and he would sit there and give me the games back in the case, and then the games be in the wrong case, or it'd be like a whole like an Xbox game in the case. Like, yo, when my disc at? Not just that. Like he scratched one of my games too one time. I was mad as hell. This was years ago. Like
Yeah.
no more discs. Like I started downloading everything. So can
Yeah.
I borrow it? Nope. It's digital. You can't borrow digital.
Yeah. Unless you have a Steam account, and then you can give it to them. But I feel bad for you. Okay.
I mean, Sony, I might forgive them, but right now the wound is too fresh because it's like Silver Kagura is one of those anime games that a lot of people know about it, a lot of people play it, a lot of people love it. And then this new Silver Kagura game, they're like, oh, we're gonna censor out the intimacy mode and all these other anime games supposed that came out for the PS4 that I heard that aren't coming out now because either the games have too many boobs and naked anime girls, or they said, oh, it's too sexual to bring to the West, so we got to cancel it. All because of the censoring policy. And it's like, come on now, man. You're taking all the fun out of video games.
Yeah. Oh, now I remember what I was going to talk about. I mean, right now, Sony or their game division is moving to California, which is
they are in California. They're already in California.
Yeah. The thing is, though, the reason why they're there is because this is where their market is.
Yeah, but they're also in far left California.
Well, I know that, but what I'm saying is that Sony has moved their game division to where consoles are making the most money. Here, the US, Canada, Western countries. Because in Japan, they don't sell well. The highest selling related content that's game related in Japan is either on a computer or on your phone. So
and that's why companies like SNK keep screwing up, making all these cell phone games that are not making any money over here, instead of making console games, which also has me pissed off. Because I've been waiting for like 4 years damn near for KOF 15, and it's like, oh, we'll give you Samurai Showdown. I don't want Samurai Showdown. I mean, I have all the other 2D Samurai Showdown. I want KOF 15, I want something like World Heroes like 4 or whatever, No, we got.
There was a recent King of Fighters game, wasn't there?
Yeah, for like 3-4 years ago.
Was it 4 years ago?
Yeah, like 2000, damn near 4 years ago. It came out like 2015 or something like that, like August. It was KOF 14. We've been waiting for KOF 15 for like 3-4 years now. And it's like, oh, well, we'll give you a new Samurai Showdown. I don't want to do Samurai Showdown because, one, Samurai Showdown 6 has everybody who's ever been in Samurai Showdown, and that's a 2D fighter. Where this new Samurai Showdown, the 3D game, is only going to have about like 20-something odd people. So we're talking about 40-something odd people versus 20 people. I'm going to play the one that has 40 people on there.
King of Fighters 14 is over 2 years old.
Yeah, almost 3 years now. But still, there's no sign and no info on when KOF 15 is coming out.
Yeah. Well, sometimes these things do take some time.
You know why? Because they're doing all these mobile games. You know how many mobile games they got out right now? About 15 new mobile games they done brought out.
Well, I can understand why SNK would do that. I mean, they are a Japanese-based company, and that's where the money is.
And I respect that, but you got your biggest audience. SNK's biggest audience is in the United States and Mexico. Mexico and the United States love SNK games, especially Mexico. They love KOF and stuff down there. And it's like you're doing your Western audience dirty.
Yeah. The one thing I would say is that the biggest markets that like Japanese companies are targeting currently are places like in Japan and China, which are highly populated and guarantees them money. That's why they make so many mobile games now. because it's a quick and effective way to make money. Considering that because pretty much most mobile games make more money even than what console games make now. I mean, the console market still exists. It's still here, especially here in the States.
For now, I mean, the console market is going to start dying down with censorship policies, expensive game systems, and all this newfound crazy stuff. That's why you see a lot of people bought the Switch this year because the Switch is portable. It could also be a home system. It's affordable. Yep. And, you know, they're about to come out with another Switch that's going to be as powerful as the PS4, is rumored. So, I mean, Nintendo's on the up and up right now. They're on the up and up where Microsoft does not sell in Japan. And Microsoft sales are weaker than PlayStation sales. And PlayStation is losing customers because of their stupid practices. So
actually, the funny thing is that PlayStation lost the console war immediately when the Switch was announced. Or, when the Switch officially released, because Nintendo outpaced them immediately.
Yep.
They had already sold more than them. They sold more Nintendo Switches than what PS4 was selling.
And they have a new Nintendo Switch coming out the middle of next year. It's supposed to be as powerful as the PS4. It's supposed to be like a black and gray system, with like with a 4K screen. It's got a 4K screen on it. Yeah. So you get a 4K handheld, a powerful 4K handheld that could play like PlayStation 4 level games. Like, you know, that's going to make Microsoft it's only like a bunch of chunks. Yeah.
Sony might not have long for this world, and I don't know how well Xbox is going to make do.
Well, Xbox don't sell. They only sell in America, so they're already messed up. They sell mainly in America.
Yeah. Xbox, for the most part, has been financially bad from the very beginning. It was just another market for Microsoft to, you know, get their fingers into, but it hasn't really been a profitable one.
And the only games that bring them in money is Halo, Gears of War, and some other Xbox exclusives. Other than that, all the other games they share with Sony or they share with Nintendo.
Or they share with the PC.
Yep. And PC has everything.
Yeah, PC. A lot of companies have been migrating most of their stuff to PC. I've been seeing a lot more like JRPGs and whatnot making it to Steam and whatnot.
Exactly.
More so than ever before. So it's all like, you got Sony and Xbox need to, well, Sony especially, it's like, if you want to keep your audience who buys like the JRPGs and whatnot, you have got, and I do mean this, you have got to straighten your shit out, or you're going to lose them.
Well, a lot of JRPGs that were scheduled to come out for Sony this year got canceled because of that censoring bullcrap.
Yeah.
You know, then Senran Kagura, that got watered down where they took some stuff out the game, and a lot of people complained about that. I was one of them. Because actually, I covered it on my YouTube channel when I first heard about it. A lot of people did. Like, I mean, you go from having all these Senran Kagura games on your systems with no problem, with everything intact, and now all of a sudden, we're taking out intimacy mode. No more touching the girls, no more putting them in costumes, or you know, seeing certain things. Like, come on now, you can't do that.
Well, I mean, Nintendo is far from perfect too, because they've done that before.
Yeah, but the Nintendo's version of Senran Kagura still allows you to do all the stuff that Sony's trying to censor.
Well, I wasn't talking about Senran Kagura. I'm saying that I think Nintendo learned from this mistake, but when Fire Emblem Fates came out, there was
let's not get into that.
there was a touching mode.
It was.
But they took it out. Not to mention that they butchered the translation and localizing of the game itself.
Yep. But we all still love Camilla and Hinoka and Oboro and Corrin, female Corrin, you know.
Speak for yourself.
Ain't nothing wrong with female Corrin. Male Corrin, female Corrin, yeah, that's where it's
at. They're pretty much the same. They're a blank slate with no personality.
True, but that's the same thing that could be said about Robin too from Awakening. But female Robin is better though.
Robin actually has character development. I don't know how much character development happens to Corrin.
Corrin has character development towards the end of the game, but it's still character development.
True. I just didn't care. I think that because I played Birthright and I was starting it out, we played through the first few chapters, and then the decision comes of who do you join, Hoshido or Nor? And I'm all like,
Yep. Good old Hoshido and Nor.
My decision seems perfectly abundantly clear. Run away from both. One, it's like I just met you, and two, obviously is evil. I should be leaving. And I know the third route was a thing, but when you buy Birthright or
the third route was you side with Asura and you start your own kingdom with her, and you get both kingdoms to bring to make a peace treaty. But when you do the third route, a lot of people end up getting killed. Like I think.
Don't spoil it.
Wait, you ain't played?
I haven't played through the third route entirely yet.
Put it like this: a lot of fan favorite characters end up getting killed, and it pissed me off.
The ones I don't care about.
The ones that a lot of people care about. It actually pissed me off because a lot of ones that you think will survive because of who they are, they so and so dies. What the hell? What?
Yeah. I mean, there were some characters that I did like in the game. I liked Kaze.
That's why I like Fire Emblem Warriors, because Fire Emblem Warriors, you get to play Awakening and Fates at the same time as some of the older ones characters, and everybody's basically on the same side, and everybody's helping each other.
I was disappointed by that, partially because it's like they know where Nintendo and Intelligent System knows where the money's at, and they've been milking Fates and Awakening for the last several years. And I'm like, we get it. You guys make money off Awakening and Fates. Can I have?
Yeah, we get it. We like Camilla's movies. Yes, you like Camilla's movies. We get it. Yes.
Yes, we see it. You're obsessed. Now, please stop. It's kind of one of the problems. It's the problem I've had with like Fire Emblem Heroes. It's like, how many more alternates are you going to make of these particular characters? Please stop. I want you to show some love to the older guys.
Well, here's the thing, though.
A long time.
There's something I see. I do a lot of when I look at certain characters. I do a lot of like analyzing their personalities. I find this funny playing through Warriors. It's funny because Crom from Awakening, Crom is more of a Captain America than Steve Rogers is right now, and that pissed me off. How is Crom more of Captain America, and Crom is nothing? Crom is not an American patriot, but Crom is a better Captain America than Marvel's Captain America. That made me mad.
That's true.
Like, why is Crom a better Captain America than Steve Rogers, and he's not even a patriot?
Yeah,
he's a knight from another world fighting dragons, and he's a better Captain America than Steve Rogers is. Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, I can agree with that. He just makes a better Captain America.
He does. He really does. Like, I mean, see, like, what is Intelligence System doing that Marvel's failing at? like, how does Camilla, Miss Look at My Boobs, Camilla have more personality than Jean Grey? That makes no sense. When Camilla Noah has more personality than Jean Grey, y'all doing something wrong.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Camilla, but I've seen more, discussion on her character and how she behaves and what. I'm like, okay, it's not the worst possible thing. I just think it's executed poorly, or it's just.
I ain't even gonna lie. I'm a Camilla aficionado. Yes, I love Camilla and Hinoka. I love them both, and a couple other females on, like Lynn, and then you have Cordelia. She's cool, and then you have Lynn. No, not Lynn. I said Lynn. This the other one. Forget her name. Redhead sword chick. I forget her name though.
Celica.
Celica, yeah.
Celica's cool.
Yeah. She's cool. I like her cutesy side, where she's trying to be all peaceful and everything. Like, I don't want to be a princess. I don't want to be a leader. But like, oh, but you have to. People need you. And she's like, oh, okay. I'm a priestess though, but your people need a ruler. Oh, okay. I guess. I like that about it.
Yeah, I still have to work through Echoes. I really, considering that Awakening was the first game of Fire Emblem that I had, completed for the first time.
Oh yeah, Frederick. We can't forget about Frederick. Frederick is the man. I'm sorry.
Frederick's a cool dude. I like Frederick.
Frederick is the man. Yo. I love his personality.
Yeah, he's hilarious. The thing is with like Awakening and and the Fate games, a lot of the characters are like, well, obviously very heavily tropey and sometimes to an annoying extent.
Yes, they are.
especially in Fates. Fates, what it was like Awakening, I could tolerate it because I actually enjoyed the characters and there was stuff going on. But with Fates, I was like, what the hell is? I'm not attached to any of you. Why should I care that you're here?
See, that's why I'm sticking with Switch instead of going back to Sony, because at least there's a lot of games on Nintendo that are actually worth the while. Like, I mean, I spent countless. I want to say I spent like what so far. The last time I played it, I spent about a good 60-something hours thus far playing Fire Emblem Warriors. I mean, I've been beat the game. I beat the game like 20-something times. I'm playing like history mode, trying to get like everybody's most powerful weapons and their seals and stuff. I mean, the game is a good replay game to play again through. Like, it's a beautiful game.
And hey, there's a new Fire Emblem game coming out relatively
exactly,
soon too.
Exactly. Then you got stuff like Howl Warriors. That's a fun game.
Yep.
Smash Brothers. That's a fun game. You know, I mean, Nintendo has all these fun games that they got playability. You can play them over and over and over again. Where certain Sony games, if you're not like a diehard fan, it gets boring.
Yeah. Camilla, aka the busty sister, you can marry. Yes.
Yep.
Of course, you can marry any of your. You can marry any of your siblings.
Then you got people like Niles, who's bisexual, that can marry Mel Corin. A lot of people didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Niles can marry Mel Corin.
Yep. You don't get to have your child, but yeah.
Yeah. Niles can marry Mel Corin. I was actually shocked they did that. I was real shocked they did that.
It's a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, it was because they're like, oh wait, Niles is bisexual. Then I looked at the marriage list. Oh wait, Niles can marry Mel Corin. Oh, okay. That's nice. That's nice to know. That they gave us that option.
Well, actually, the funny thing is like they had Soleil, who loves women, but yet at the same time is actually straight, and it's like, wait, what? She's straight, but yet at the same time she can't focus when there are pretty girls around her. Well, I'm sure she's not, at least bi.
That's another anime trope, though. That's another huge anime trope that gets the fanboys, blood pumping.
Yep. I know that caused a lot. That particular story arc and whatnot caused a lot of hoopla for them because it's like she's getting help from a man to be straight. It's like I don't think that she's inherently straight. She's just for some reason she's a carbon copy of her father. That's the thing. She's a copy of her dad.
Yep.
Who is a womanizing, man.
You know what else is funny? You know what else is funny? Like going back to Frederick. Frederick reminds me a lot of Jim Rhodes. Like, how is Frederick more of a Jim Rhodes than Marvel Jim Rhodes? He does. He reminds me a lot of Jim Rhodes because it's like he's like that. Like how Crime is like Tony Stark. Frederick is like the Jim Rhodes to his Tony Stark.
Yeah. Although I don't think that Crime is that eccentric.
Yeah, I think Marvel needs to talk to intelligence systems.
Maybe. I with Fire Emblem Warriors, I really wish that they would have spread out to different games a lot more. They made some pretty flimsy excuses as to why certain characters weren't added in. It's like, oh, we didn't want to add too many sword units. It's like there are already too many sword units in your game, and you have plenty of characters and units other than that are in Fates and Awakening that use lances. Where is Ephraim? I am asking, it's like, where is the representation for Fire Emblem 8? Seriously. It's like, he is a lance-wielding badass who likes to fight and does not surrender.
Well, I don't think they have enough dragons either. I mean, they got Tiki, that's it. She's like the only dragon character.
Yeah, none of the other dragon characters made appearances.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, when I thought about the roster, it's like, how many of these characters are sword wielders? Majority.
Yeah,
like,
then look
we got Xander.
Yep. Look all the wait, no, yeah, Xander's a sword wielder. My bad. Yeah, he is.
He's on a
horse. He's a horseback. Yeah, he's on a horse though.
He's on horseback, but that's the only difference. He's still wielding a sword. He still has the same advantages and disadvantages that Chrom does. The only difference is he gets to ride on a horse. Sheeta is also a sword wielder. Marth. What is that? There's that mercenary swordsman that I forget his name.
Navarre. Navarre is badass too.
Navarre is cool, but he's also a sword unit.
Linda's is a sword unit, but look how fast Linda's is. Linda's is like a speedster, damn near.
Well, that's because they were emulating her game.
Yeah, but she's like the X-23 of sword wielders.
True.
Look how fast she moves.
Yeah, oh yeah. Anyway, yeah, we've kind of just been here talking a bit too long. I think I'm gonna actually end the stream now because pretty much the chat has died and
Wait, who's still in the chat?
nobody. Probably just me. Might be someone else, I don't know.
Oh, at least we had fun though.
Yeah, we had fun. Thank you, John, for coming by.
Of course, man. Anytime. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
Exactly what I'm here for.
Yep. And we'll
If
see
you have a good one.
everybody next time.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Take care, my friend.